Hello, this is J.N.S, and today I want to cover a topic that's been on my mind. We're going to talk about, you guys know the summer solstice was recent around June 20th. And so I want to talk about the esoteric aspects of the summer solstice. We're going to get into what it means um, for us as individuals, as well as some of the things we've been seeing. So we all know every time we hear about the summer solstice, it's kind of like we know that there's deaths around that time. And so we want to talk about like how does the summer solstice, how did it historically play out? Like what was it historically? And so in different cultures, depending on the location, the summer solstice meant certain things. For some people, it meant sacrifice. For others, it meant renewal, beginnings, transformations. And so I want to talk about the summer solstice coming from the Sumerian pantheon, because summer and Sumerian, believe it or not, that is a play on that. If you guys didn't know where the term summer comes from, it comes from Sumeria. And so obviously Sumeria was an ancient culture in Mesopotamia. And they were also known as some of the first astronomers. Now, the summer solstice is not, this idea of a summer solstice, rather, is not native to just the Mesopotamia area or the Sumerians. The Babylonians had their version of this, the Incans, the Mayans, um, the Aztecs, the Croatia, China. And so we're actually going to talk about all of that in this video. Then we're going to transition into how this relates to sacrifice and the death of Enchanting, the rap artist. Well, she was a singer as well. I want to really get into the esoteric aspects of this whole thing. We're going to be waking up a lot of things. If the sound goes off or I get cut off live, you know why. This is a very esoteric video. It's going to cover some information that is not mainstream at all, but we will do a deep dive into the energy around the death of Enchanting, because it was a sacrifice and it was around the summer solstice. And me as a spiritualist, again, I'm not into any cults or any oaths or anything of that nature. I don't believe in, I'm not saying I'm giving credence to any of this. I'm just, obviously, as a priestess, I can see things on a higher level. And I want to talk about this, of what happened to that lady. Then I want to get into Orlando Brown's, he did a recent video. Was it recent? It may have been old, but I know it was published 7 days ago. And Orlando Brown was talking about, he had a code. He said something about the celebrities based on the question that was asked him in an interview on Real Life Productions. And to be honest, I know that it flew over most people's heads. They probably thought he was having one of his crazy moments, but it was some deep shit. And again, I want to address like the esoteric meanings behind what he meant when he answered that question, in particular about celebrities and what he meant behind the scenes of some of these things. So first, let's talk about the summer solstice. Okay, and so this is going to be the more educational part of the video before we get into the death of Enchanting. So I just want to make you aware that it's going to be a little dry if you know, because I do want to explain the summer solstice. You have to know what this stuff is. If you already know, then God bless you. But we are going to be covering what it means in different cultures. Okay, so the summer solstice is pretty much when the sun travels the longest path through the sky. Okay, and therefore that's when there's the most daylight. And so when it's in the northern hemisphere, it's tilted about like 23.4 degrees towards the sun. Okay. And so there's a lot of energy around this time, pretty much. It's the beginning of the summer, which you guys know, which lasts until about September 2022. So it starts around June 20th and then it lasts until September 22. That's when the autumn equinox occurs. But as far as like the summer solstice itself, yes, that's about like a couple of days, but that energy does carry on. Like I would say I can feel that energy all the way into around August 1st. That's just me personally. I can't speak for other people, but I know that I can feel the effects of the summer solstice energy, particularly the Sumerian Babylonian stuff that they be doing, the elites or whatever they be doing. I can feel the effects of that until August 1st. I don't want to feel the effects. I can obviously turn it off, but I'll get into why some of us have some sensitive energies around the summer solstice as well. But nonetheless, It's always been looked at as a time for renewal. A lot of people look at it as sacred. It's about, believe it or not, the summer solstice also relates to ancestors through fire and ceremony, honoring the sun. Okay, and in some cultures, it's big on ancestral worship at this time around the summer solstice. This is the most daylight, and it's the longest. That day is one of the longest of the year. Okay, and so another aspect of the summer solstice is looked at as a time of new beginnings. Okay, and so it's a period of self reflection and using that sun to propel us forward. It's also a powerful time to manifest spiritual transformations. So anything that needs to be cleansed and renewed, any sacred scents, anything of that nature, you people do around the summer solstice. Okay, so now I want to get into like the actual cultures that practice this, and then their particular meaning that they attach to the summer solstice. Because again, even though it's called summer solstice, in different cultures it's called something else, and they do recognize this longest day of the year, um, based on whether you're in the southern hemisphere or the northern hemisphere. But we'll start with the Mayan. See, now the Mayans, they call theirs, in modern day time, they call it their Mayan solstice. And so they have been practicing this for a very long time, though. And there was actually an archaeological site that they found in El Salvador where they would hold they would hold their ceremonies to balance the energy of Mother Earth and to ask for abundant crops. Okay, so not all of the summer solstice is built around sacrifice. That's what you need to know, because you know we're gonna the one in America, North America, is more centered around sacrifice in terms of following more of the Babylonian Sumerian energy. But I wanted to talk about what other cultures view the summer solstice, so that you can have a more holistic view, and not just throw out the baby the what is it called, the baby with the bathwater. And so that's why we're covering all the other cultures. And so yeah, so the Mayans, they use the summer solstice to balance the energy of Mother Earth. Then you have the Inca, which is now in Bolivia, modern day Bolivia. But there was the Incans used to also practice this summer solstice, and they this was called the Quechua people. Okay, and so they called their solstice the Pachamama, and that means Mother Earth. So as you can see, we're getting into the divine feminine. Yes, the summer solstice is inherently divine feminine, and every culture, I'll prove that. We just see the Mayans talking about the Mother Earth. Incans talk, Pachama is the summer solstice, literally means Mother Earth. And for them, they would do drums, instruments, dances, symbols of receiving good energy. Okay, and so when the sun would come out during the summer solstice, the members of the tribe, they would just put their hands to the sky, and they think about gratitude and receptivity for Mother Earth. Okay, and so that is the Incan people. And now we have China, and once again, divine feminine. Now they call it yin forces, though, because we know that the Chinese, they have the concept of the yin and yang. And believe it or not, the winter solstice is associated with the male, the masculine energy, the yang. But the summer solstice is the feminine. So once again, this is three prominent big time cultures that are still influential today with this divine feminine. Because I keep talking about the queen mothership and the overthrow and the divine feminine for a reason, because we are clearly back in that age. I'm very early on my message. I'm not the only one saying, I'm not, saying I'm the only one talking about this stuff, but I'm very early in the emphatic claims that I make about the divine feminine in regards to melanated people, and particularly Black Americans. And so I know that there's a lot of pushback against me for my message, but I always will bring, matter of fact, maybe I should even show you some sources so that you can see this stuff for yourself. Yin summer solstice in China. So then that way you actually can see. Okay, so I think I found something here. I want to see something a little more scholarly though, but if I can't, okay, let's see. Summer solstice in. Yeah, so let's see. I'm trying to get something with the yin. Okay, I don't want to get too distracted. I just wanted to find something where you guys could at least see it for yourself. Because I had the Mesopotamian pulled up, but here's some information about the summer solstice in China. And so they always practice once again June 21st, usually June 20th to June 21st in the northern hemisphere is the longest day of the year. And again, they comes from the Tao system, for those who know about Taoism, or Tao, however you want to pronounce it. But yes, they celebrate the summer solstice associated with the yin forces, which is the feminine forces. And for them, that they would give gifts of perfume, brightly colored fans. Women continue, it's a big day for women to exchange gifts, um, satchels, all types of stuff. And then also a lot of cooking, auspicious cooking, all those type of things. So they have their own version. So next we're going to talk about Croatia. And so the Croatians, they practice the summer solstice as well. And they look at it as, they believe in elves and fairies. And so they would believe that it's a time when the elves and fairies are out and they would dance among the living celebrants. And, it was a light thing for them. They would stargaze. They believe a lot of stargazing around that time uh, and whatnot. So that's the Croatia version of the summer solstice, but they call that Astrofest now. They call that Astrofest in today's time. And then we have the Ivan Kupala Day, um, which is from the Slavic countries. This is they celebrate the summer solstice and they look at it as a romantic thing. For young couples, you leap over fire, and it is believed that your future together would be more blessed if practice in like the certain rituals during the summer solstice. And this is actually the Slavic countries, but as well as Slavic countries. Yep. So they collect herbs. You do cleansing baths. You jump over fires. You make flowery wreaths. So I just wanted to get you to see that there are other different types of ways to celebrate this. And I'm not saying you have to, but because I'm going to be dealing more with the Babylonian Sumerian, I'm going to be teaching more about that, rather not dealing with, but I'm going to be teaching you more about, because that is what you'll see in Northern America in terms of today's time and what it means something different. Okay, and so now we'll deal with, um, I'll talk a little bit more about the more grim aspects of the summer solstice. Well, however you want to look at it, grim, but in some cultures, the summer solstice is looked at as mischief. Okay, so yes, you have some cultures talking about the divine feminine and Mother Earth and feminine energy, and let's do cleansing baths and jump over fire with our lovers, and let's make herb baths and all that. And then other cultures, this is their time to sacrifice. It is a time to do certain rituals to bring about a certain transformation. So obviously the Romans, they practiced their own version of this summer solstice. They had a goddess that they would worship called Herf. Herf start with H, and then so it's like Hearth. That is the goddess Herf. Okay, and so the Romans, they would have a bunch of female priestesses. They would be chosen as children to tend to temple fires and secrets. They were taught to be brides, and they were offered, their goddess a sacred cake, and unholy spring, and then in Romans, I don't associate this particular culture with, well, how do I say this? This particular ritual or the summer solstice for the Romans, they did not necessarily do the human sacrifice. But the ancient Celts, they also participated in the summer solstice, and for them it was mischief making. They believe in nymphs and fae folk, and so uh, they believed that fickle forest spirits will come out, and some would be known to bring good luck, and then some would cause trouble. Okay, and so they felt like they could be placated with the offerings of food. And then you have the Norse culture. So the Norse also celebrated the summer solstice. They would wear crowns of flowers on their heads. Um, they, however, they had a lot of suspicions. They would not do any business. Um, Oh, actually, they did do business. Sorry, the Norse did do business. They did practice law. It was the Babylonians, however, that did not necessarily associate the summer solstice with positivity. They, the Babylonians, this was 4,500 years ago, they would say that there was a height in disease during the summer solstice. That's probably maybe something, there's probably a practical reason for why they saw height in disease during that particular time. It's maybe hot, more germs, maybe their water wasn't clean and it's hot and, who knows, maybe there's messed up sewage or something at that time. But they there was more disease at that time, so they associated with negativity. And they also believe that the god of food and fertility, Tammuz, died every year before the solstice. Okay, and so for them, they treated it as a funeral. And the Inca in Peru, this is different from the tribe that was in Bolivia that we talked about earlier. They practiced the human sacrifice during the summer. They viewed the summer solstice as a time to appease the gods by offering people in a rite called Inti Rami. They also did food and animals, but the ritual Inti Rami, they also would do human sacrifice. Okay, and so obviously I'll go here because a lot of people don't know that summer means Sumerian. Maybe you do, but yes, this culture, the Sumerians and the Babylonians, they also practice sacrifice during the summer solstice. And they believe that the sun reached its highest point in the sky around this time as well. And so I'm looking at this, and now I think we should just go into the actual uh, correlation between the summer solstice and what we see around um, the summer in America. Every year we notice that there's like at least possibly 2 to 3, even up to 5 deaths, major deaths around the summer solstice every year. Okay, and it's because America, we've based a lot of the rituals are based on Babylonian and Sumerian culture. Some Rome as well, in Egypt, Rome, but the summer solstice is definitely modeled after the Sumerians and the Babylonians. Okay, and so they also participated in sacrifice. I know Ishtar is big around that time as well. Ishtar is the goddess of fertility. Um, and I think she's a octave of Chamundi, if I'm not mistaken, an octave of Chamundi. But anyways, yeah, they observed the summer solstice with a distinct ritual. For 6 days, the Babylonians will hold a funeral for the god of food and vegetation, which is Tammuz, by placing his statue on a bear and then having walking processions complete with mourners in tow. And so you really won't find a lot of talk. I know in Mayan culture, you'll find a lot about human sacrifice, but believe it or not, you won't find a lot about them explicitly talking about that. It's very taboo in 2024, and it's hidden, obviously. But when we see like this thing of around the summer solstice, when we see certain celebrities continuously, or I wouldn't even say the word celebrity, but certain deaths, like we see, like in June, we saw the death of the Iran. Well, actually, he was in May, right? No, yeah, the president of Iran was in May, but we see Fulio and Enchanting. Who else? I mean, it's probably. Let me make sure that my sound is good because I do know that this is very controversial information, and I tend to get shut off the air with certain topics. Okay, okay, so my sound is good. Yes, but yeah. So we saw the situation with Fulio. We saw the situation with this baby girl Enchanting. Now, Enchanting, she was an artist on Gucci Mane's label, And people talk about the curse of Gucci Mane. I won't get into all of that. That's not what this particular video is about, as far as the other people that were affected, because this is I really want to focus on the death of Enchanting. She was on the label, and they claim, that as per usual, she supposedly dies of an overdose. Yes, she most likely died of an overdose, but she was set up for that, pretty much. It was a play. It was pretty much orchestrated, is what I'm saying emphatically, and I'll talk about more why I say that. Um, oh man, I'm kind of like nervous talking about this stuff, for obvious reasons. It's very controversial, and it's not stuff that people know, but they are sworn to keep secret. But for me, I'm not sworn, but I can see esoterically what this is all about, and it's not just the celebrities that have to deal with this. Believe it or not, there's many families in America and throughout the world that may have had pacts with certain entities, or may have gotten into certain cults, and they have to also deliver a sacrifice. It's not just celebrities. It's just that they're so well known. We obviously can point to them and say, "Oh, look what happened," but it does happen in everyday families. You'll be shocked. You'll be really surprised. But yes, this baby girl, she died on June 11th. Well, actually, did she? Is it June 11th or June 13th? Oh, they put a statement out on June 13th. So, yeah, so she had passed away. She was admitted to the ICU on Monday, June 10th, and it was undiagnosed medical emergency. And at that time, there was speculation that there was an overdose. You know, and so she was on Gucci Mane's label with Cola Ray, uh, Yayla Beezy, and others. And she unfortunately, I would say, was caught up in stuff that's way over her head. She was 26 years old, very, very young. Honestly, looks like a huge setup to me. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show like some of the text messages and stuff that was behind the scenes with some of her folks. That lets me know clear as day that yeah, she was a sacrifice. Most likely, somebody in her family has an insurance policy or a deal with the label. The label has an insurance policy themselves, and they don't cut a deal over her head to pay out to eat off of her for the rest of the life, whatever music she had, or to feed off of the energy, and to harness her talents into, that's just what they do. Believe it or not, it's going to come a time where it's much harder to do that, because it's how do I don't want to get into the different forms of Kabbalah. So you have epigenetic Kabbalah, and then you have the Kabbalah where you go and get into a contract, or you go into sign, or you let someone else do the Kabbalah work for you. But believe it or not, there are many. So people kind of sell their birthrights pretty much, for janky deals, as we know that in Hollywood. And so somewhere down the line, she got caught up in some sort of janky contract, or she was signed to a label. A lot of people don't reread in these contracts. They pretty much may have signed their life away. They may have even been a death clause in the contract. They put that in. That's more new, but they put that in there now. It's known that they'll take an insurance policy on you. It's known that many of the parents, believe it or not, many of the parents, should I be talking about this? Many of the parents put their children into this through a very again, once you sign over a child for a sacrifice, if it's a baby, through contracts, that starts the process of their unwillingly their unknowing initiation, pretty much. And so there's an energy behind that. It's kind of like, it's kind of like being under a spell. So you're pretty much putting this. It's a spell that the child comes under, and they're groomed. Whether that be systematically, it could be very light forms of a grooming, or it could be very deep. As far as like, you can get into like SRA, satanic ritual abuse, or it can just be, you'll be groomed for the industry. You'll be groomed to be a whether it be a sex worker, it could be an artist, whatever. And if you notice, and if you guys want to do more research on this, if you notice, have you ever noticed that a lot of celebrities fall out with their parents? Pay attention to that. The parents will be the managers. The parents, they'll be fine. But then somehow, once the artist becomes at a certain age and more aware, they'll fall out with their parents every time. I'm pretty sure I mean, we knew Usher, Monique, P Diddy fell out with his mom for a little bit. I mean, just study it every time you. Even with I don't even want to even name certain people because I don't want to bring no smoke nobody's way or even my way. But I would say there's tons of celebrities who end up falling out with their parents once they realize the type of deal and the contract they in and the things they have to deliver on. Nick Cannon fell out with his father. Look at the situation with Nick Cannon and his father. These parents groom, and we all know, even in the Hollywood, with the child stars, how and it can get really, really dark, depending on your set, pretty much. Your set, and set means your cult or whatever is in that contract. You have an extreme case like a Britney Spears, where that's really extreme strongholds, demonic strongholds, Masonic strongholds, where that's really, really hard to break. Where the father, and what her father did. Amanda Bynes' parents. Yeah, this is real stuff. It's not just in the music industry. This can happen on a very small scale. It could be obviously in politics. You can see that as well. And so you'll see where you'll notice where the children will fall out with these artists will fall out with their parents is usually because they come to the realization that the parent pretty much sold them out, pretty much sold them out as babies contractually, or even the exploitation of grooming them to be an artist, to be in the industry. A lot of that is they're pretty much they become aware that the parents, and again, it's not all parents. I'm just saying this is a situation where it happens where the parent was in on the whole thing and they needed to get out of their deal, or they needed to deliver, they needed to honor a deal or a pact or a spirit. And they did have sometimes, a lot of times these children are specifically bred for that industry. Like they literally had the child to be given over to be groomed in such a manner to be a slave in the music industry, or groomed to be but again, a lot of this can be covert, and in terms of the parents' awareness, they may really, they may think that they're doing something good by having their child, being able to move up by making sure that the child gets rich and the child gets, and they get to live off of the fruits of that child, knowing that child is in a fucked up contract. Or sometimes they really are that brainwashed by the system where they would think that, okay, this is a great thing. My child is, this big time artist and this big time musician, making money, taking care of us, the whole family. And the whole family is in on the play, where they know they don't put you in some sort of Elvis Presley type deal. Have you ever looked at Elvis Presley contract that he had? The dude was a fucking slave, just like how Prince had wrote slave on his. And Prince was a majestic entity, and unknowingly, got into a fucked up situation, and regretted it and whatnot. And not even so much regret, but just he understood what he was doing, but didn't understand the gravity. Because you got to figure some people be in their 20s, or something, lo and behold, like, if you're like 15 and your parents pushed you into the music industry, or you're 14, 12 years old, like Aaliyah, baby girl Aaliyah. We all know what happened to her. They did her so fucking dirty. But yes, this is a real thing, and the parents are behind it many times. And I mean, the proof of that is the artists get falling out with their parent, accusing their parent of greed and exploitation, or the outcome, like say with Aaliyah, or with the death of Enchanting. And so I say that to say is when we talk about Enchanting, she was groomed. Make no mistake about it. Look at this tattoo and these snakes. Make no mistake about it. This person was groomed for the industry. Now, the industry is riddled with, it is a cover up for a lot of human trafficking, prostitution. And we know that with Epstein Island. We know that with P. Diddy situation. And we know that a lot of it is high level prostitution that is covert. I mean, Jaguar Wright has been waking that up. It's pretty much something that is well known. It's just stuff that people are comfortable to talk about. Like even me talking about it. Like I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know how far I'm going. I don't know how deep I'm going. Um, but nonetheless, this baby girl, she was definitely groomed. You see the red and black nails. You see the enchanting and the snakes. Now, again, certain information was bastardized by this industry, unfortunately. Information of the divine feminine, information that was very uh, esoteric and for a certain bloodline that has gotten hijacked and stolen and reverse engineered for profit and for money by a group of people that have no connection to that information. It's stolen esoteric information that is being used for ill gain. And they harness the energy from the bloodline that it stems from by tricking them into getting, not even necessarily tricking them, sometimes some people know, by tricking them into um, the earthbound Kabbalah, pretty much. And what is the bloodline that they go after? Melanated, usually the Black American bloodline. They go after the Black American bloodline and have Black Americans who have natural epigenetic Kabbalah in their blood, which means that their whole life plan is already planned out by their ancestors naturally in a way that goes for their higher self in an auspicious manner that elevates their ancestors if they are aware and understand that. And it will happen naturally, even if you don't know your own bloodline, genealogy, sciences, and you want the proof of that. Before certain artists got famous or before certain artists went to their system to get famous, to sign in a contract or to get a deal, if you study the people around them and their way their life was going, they already were blessed and never needed their system, is what I'm saying. That's what you need to understand. And so when Black Americans, they keep us out of the loop, a lot of times we won't seek knowledge, we seek entertainment over enlightenment. And so we end up missing the boat about how all this plays out. And so we allow people to take our information and then reverse engineer it and try to give it back to us. It's kind of like that white man's ISIS coder type thing. And then you end up getting duped. End up getting tricked because you didn't understand that it was your stuff to begin with, and it's being stolen. And as above, so below, they reversed and gave you an earthbound version of something that is naturally in your blood anyways. So for instance, before Jay-Z got famous, and you saw them building up Rockefeller and Damon Dash and Memphis Bleak, you study the names of these people that was around him: Damon Dash, Memphis Bleak, Rockefeller, Jay-Z, Marcy Project. You got to study all of that. They already had natural epigenetic Kabbalah already in their blood. Now, Kabbalists that work for the system, they track Black Americans. They keep track of you. They got your genealogy. They watching who is who. They see who got talent. They see who got light. They see who got a soul. They see who's not under oath. They see who's on the pet. I feel like I'm talking so much, in terms of like giving out this information, but it's all, a lot of it is out there. You just have to do your research, but they'll see all that, and that's when they will come and try to get you to they want to do the Kabbalah for you. They want to do it through a contract. Pretty much get you to sell your star inertia to get your star inertia hooked up in their system, which is an earthbound system, and it ends up trapping you. And they eat more off the energy than what you will ever eat off of, benefit more from the energy than what you will ever benefit from. And this is what's happening in Hollywood. You have I don't feel comfortable saying the word fake, but you have system Kabbalists, and then you have epigenetic Kabbalists. And believe it or not, a lot of Black Americans have forgotten about this stuff. It's buried in the DNA. In addition, some of you have bloodlines that have multiple layers and layers of information. Black Americans. You'll have, in addition to natural epigenetic Kabbalah, you'll have epigenetic commission. Some of you, not all. Some of you may have epigenetic commission. Some of you have epigenetic shamanism, as far as North American Indian shamanistic practices. Some of the other esoteric schools of thoughts may be in your blood. It could be the Shakti, Agori, Tantra. It could be different types of things that's already encoded in your DNA that your ancestors already had set up for you before slavery, before all this whole system came into existence. We talk about aeons, even galactically, aeons. Okay. And so you unfortunately, a lot of Black Americans don't study the mysticisms of some of their religions that they even practice. Like a lot of Black Americans are Christians, right? Majority of Black Americans practice a form of Christianity, be it Baptist, Seventh Day Adventist, Pentecostal, whatever. But they're not looking at the mysticism behind those traditions, which would be um, Kabbalah, or would be Gnosticism, would be, and so they these teachings have been taken, uh, hidden. Some of it is reversed engineered. Some of these things are literally botched. I'm not saying we botched them. I'm saying the people that stole them botched them, and so they've learned how to harness. It's kind of like a vampire. They learned how to harness your energy using your sciences, but reverse engineer it and keep it in a way and from you in a certain way where they get to benefit more, and you don't know, and you think that their system is better, and so you pretty much give over your nadis, and your crown, as well as your star inertia, for the material stuff that they're going to give you, the fame and fortune, pretty much. And it's a shitty deal. And that's why you see Kanye West talk about, I sold my, and it was a shitty deal. This could come with a happy meal, whatever. And you see Prince, and you see Sam Cooke talk about these things. Not Sam Cooke. If you look at the situation with Elvis Presley, this is real stuff. People literally sign away their life and blood, through the occult systems that are pretty much a reversed engineer and designed to trap them. And so that's what happened. I mean, if you honor the deal or whatever, maybe you can get out. It's like it's like gambling. It's like playing, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the knowledge on how these things work. However, again, like I said, and I'm stating this emphatically, and you could study this, even if somebody was to just study my bloodline. I mean, just the names. You don't even need someone's whole genealogy tree. You just need a couple of names and who's around that person. Even say something like a street that they're on, the schools that they go to. All of that is gematria. All of that is a sacred resonance of that person's destiny, which is influenced by the planets, which is influenced by their ancestral bloodlines, history, their environment. It's all influenced by that, but it all culminates into, what you'll see them playing out. And so a lot of Black Americans, they may be unaware of the natural, how do I say this? I'll start saying, instead of saying Kabbalah, I'll say magic. I don't even want to say magic. Let me look for a better word, because let's see, mysticism. I'll say that. I'll say essence of God, rather. I'll say, because that's what Kabbalah means, essence of God. And so it's the mysterious ways of the essence of God. That's what Kabbalah means. So that's what I'll say. Every human has a mysterious essence of God on their life, as far as the way their life path's going to turn out. Those who are in the know, who understands this occult knowledge, can study someone's natal chart, can study someone's birthday and their name and their sign and their bloodline, and be able to see, okay, this person is going to go here. This is what this person is capable of. This they're going to have. Look at what's all around them. Look at the street they live on. Look at their parents' name. Look at this. They're going to amass this amount of money. They got this amount of light. They get this amount of influence. They can do these things. Let's go give them a contract. Let's go give it. And they'll swarm around you. Secret society can swarm around you. Or they'll go to your parents. They'll have your family all in this shit. Or sometimes it could be from birth. Your parents will already be in it. They can do conjuring of a certain epigenetics. It's kind of like creating a zygote designer baby, but in a spiritual realm. Is like, and they can create their own little designer spiritual baby, to be a big time athlete, or a big time musician, or very intelligent, or very smart. And they'll be cannon fodder for the system, or a sacrifice. And so, certain bloodlines, they engage in this practice. It's just as simple as that. And unfortunately, there's a lot of there's a lot of Black Americans that don't understand this mysterious essence of God that's all around them. So they end up around people who know that about them, who will know certain things about their life path, and they will go in for the steal or the kill, the steal of the soul essence or the kill, because they want to snatch that off of them. And again, this is the reverse engineer. And this is why Kabbalah gets a bad rap, because people stole ancient knowledge and is using it for their own personal gain. So even if you look at this tree of life right here, It's upside down. This is clearly upside down. When we talk about Malkuth, let's see, I want to go here. I want to get a good picture. Okay, so we say Malkuth at the bottom, the kingdom, Qatar. This this is supposed to be turned all the way around. It's reversed. It's backwards on purpose. As you can see, they have Malkuth relating to uh, the root chakra, Saturn, the base version. Okay, and so a lot of this stuff, it's. I mean, people can get upset at me or feel like I'm stepping on toes or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are reversed in this, and so this should be turned around, and then even the in this chakra point center, that all should be reversed too. It's backwards. The whole thing is backwards, and that's by design, because I mean this is just how the system works. But nonetheless, that is my little tirade about that. I want to get back here to this baby girl because I want to show you the text messages and stuff that lets me know that yeah, her parents somebody and again, I know that may sound extreme, but yeah, she was definitely a sacrifice. You see, she has the Medusa. And again, this knowledge is supposed to be for the divine feminine. It is for a very specific bloodline, and it's for the highest orders of that bloodline. But this botched information that's been given out, um, it's been used to exploit the bloodline that it's for. It's been used to exploit Black women, the bloodline that created it. Now that's really crazy. It's literally used to exploit the bloodline that created these systems, and they're not earthbound. And they're not earthbound, and they do have their. I already talked about the Order of Kali, the Order of Tahuti, the various orders, the Dragon Riders, which is the order that Yeshua comes from, the Order of Melchizedek. These are very ancient orders that even make that predates a lot of what you guys may hold as Abrahamic faiths or whatever. A lot of this stuff that predates Abrahamic religion, to be quite frank. And so I was waking that up in a lot of my books that I've been writing, especially my last two books. One of them, some heavy bangers. They are esoteric. They're esoteric in nature. But and that's the divine. There's the Queen Mothership Part 3, the divine feminine, the language of the gods, and the Natural Queen Mothership Order, the alternative to Freemasonry. The stuff that I'm talking about is covered in detail as far as pre-Adamic civilizations, pre-Abrahamic occult orders. Well, not even occult, but orders that have nothing to do with planet Earth. Information that was gifted to planet Earth, to certain bloodlines on this planet, particularly melanated people. That were, when we talk about the Nephilim and the fallen watchers coming down here, some of the information was gifted. Some of the information was stolen even by the fallen watchers themselves, what you call fallen angels, and given to humanity. But if the information was given from the fallen angels to humanity, then the information cannot be inherently bad, because the information comes from the God realm. It comes from 125th dimension. If the fallen watchers, by your own admission, gave a lot of this information out, Azazel, Lucifer, whatever, they give all this information out after we told them not to, then that just means that we didn't feel the humans were prepared at that moment for it. You guys were going through an evolutionary stage still, and honestly supposed to be in this sort of happy-go-lucky, hold hands, the earth is love, and love, love, love. That's where you guys were at, and that's where you were intended to be at, until you can understand the concepts of contrast and duality. And yes, there were some fallen watchers that had a rift and came down here and violated even the terms of which they were, the information they were going to give to you guys, the information they were going to give to humanity. Reversed engineer some of the information before, so that they can harness or reverse the laws of electromagnetism to as far as the AC/DC current, which is currently in human terms divine feminine, that gives rise to divine masculine. They wanted to reverse that, and they have done that on this planet very unsuccessfully. And so it is the end of, that's why you see the end of this 3D Earth going into 5D Earth, going into Christos consciousness, Vesica Pisces, which is inherently the divine feminine. I'll be breaking that down. This is supposed to happen 2,000 years ago, but it never did. So here we are. But yes, that information that you see, or you see the symbols and the one eye and the owls and all this stuff. It's information that came from a different a order that is much older than what you will ever think. Uh, Much older than even the Masons, much older than all of the any secret site that you got on this planet. That information was given again. Some of the information they got clearance to give to the humans, some of it was stolen by the fallen angels themselves, and they didn't understand it because they were at a very low level in the order themselves before they came to planet Earth. They were not all the way developed to give that information or to even apply it themselves. So they kind of like, and I talked about this. It's like being uh, I don't even want to get into that. It's not important. Let's get to what you guys came here for. But yes, nonetheless, this information that you see has been given to humans um, and used for material gain, to not anything relating to spiritual enlightenment, uh, transcendence, and integration of certain aspects of the mind, certain aspects of the energies within the body, or even going back in tune with source energy. That's those energies. That information can be used for that, even the way it is today. But as far as the system, as far as the industries, as far as the way Black Americans think, that information is not being used for that. And I can tell you that right now. However, if you are going through the earth based Kabbalahs, how do I say? I want to find a word that's different than earth based. Earth based, because that's not the right word I want to use. I want to use fake, but I don't want to be offensive to certain people because I already shadow ban the hell out of my shit and blacklist, because I offended a lot of powerful people. But anyways, I want to find the word. What's the word for synonym? Imitation. Yeah, maybe do imitation. Maybe yeah, imitation, feign, mock up. Yeah, let's just do the imitation Kabbalists. Uh, they they used a reverse engineered science to lock people into contracts, which is again, it's a combination of not only just Kabbalah but also Sumerian and Babylonian contract magic as well. And so they put these artists in these deals. Um, they'll use various. It could be blood, it could be sex magic. They'll do to harness the energy. Now this baby girl, and she passed away, but people were saying in her camp that she was more concerned, and this was very offensive, that she was more concerned with having sex or having given it up to guys versus rap her rap career. I think that's a way to slander and to take the heat off of what they did to her, to be honest. Because she was drugged heavily. Her mother was giving her the drugs. Everybody around her was doping her up on the drugs. Continuously kept her drugged up. That's an easier way to mind control. Drug substance abuse is a great way to enact the MK Ultra ritual. Uh, it just is what it is. But when we see here, look at this. This is the comment that I want to show you. It says, "This young lady is from my city. I'm very familiar with her rap success, and it wasn't a success. I mentored her situation years ago. She was a fuck toy with talent who hardly put out music and posted a lot of social media pics. If someone died doing what they like to do, getting high, then why should anyone be sad for that person? She died a dope fiend just like the rest of them in the music industry. I told y'all they was just fucking on her and wasn't putting no music out. So this is a person that most likely had warned her not to go into that industry. Oh, this is Charleston White. But this is also someone that knows that she was sacrificing, trying to justify it and make an excuse. She was a fuck toy. The thing is, what people don't understand is she was groomed for this. I bet you her soul contract or the deal, something her mother is into. Her mother is probably in a secret society. They groomed her for this. She was always going to be a sacrifice. They knew that. And the mother had to honor. So somebody, I'm telling you, this is family related. Somebody close to her benefited off of this monetarily. Got her on the drugs, got her into the industry, got her getting fucked. Most likely as an escort. A lot of people in the music industry are escorts, male and female. I mean, what do you think the whole P Diddy shit is about? You got examples of what this looks like. It's just everywhere. You guys just don't want to admit it. It's happening in politics. It's happening in the acting, entertainment industry, and in the music industry. It's happening even in the gospel industry. It's happening. It's on levels. It's everywhere. But If someone died doing like what they like to do, getting high, do anybody really like to do drugs, or is it an addiction, or is it mass trauma? Charleston White. Um, is that what they like to do? Is someone on drugs what they like to do, or is that escapism? Is that an escapism to deal with some sort of trauma? Um, she died a dope fiend, like just like the rest of them in the music industry. Yeah, she was a sacrifice. So he's saying, like, it's very cruel and callous to talk like that about someone, but that's just what they do. That's how. And I'm telling you because I talk openly that people, they wanted me out the paint. You can tell when someone is trying to do black magic on you, or trying to honor someone, trying to offer someone else up to cover for their own ass. You could feel that, and that happened to me. I just escaped it. But yeah, when somebody's trying to people do this shit all the time, and the people around you, you'd be shocked how quick they'll switch up on you and how much they won't care. Like these people, like this response right here, that's actually I know people that will respond way crueler than that. Way crueler than that. Knowing what this, that's like how, I don't know if y'all guys remember that, but remember when Aaliyah died, and in the rap battle community, because I used to really watch a lot of the rap battles. I used to love rap battle in my undergrad years of college. No lie, like 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, every rap battle, King of the Dot, Smack URL, Queen of the Ring, you name it. Daylight, 40 Bars. I know all the motherfucking rap. I mean, Loaded Lux, Calico. Come on. I literally grew up, like that was like the shit, like watching the rap battle. But if you ever notice, in the rap battle community, they would always make jokes of Aaliyah randomly, or Aaliyah's death randomly. Yeah, that's why you gonna be like Aaliyah and die in a plane crash. Everybody said Aaliyah she wasn't shit. Aaliyah didn't have no talent. This would literally be a bar in rap battle community. I could probably find even Loaded Lux threw a dig at Aaliyah in his rap. But it was always like this thing, and it happened multiple times. And it was like, because, battle rap is supposed to be kind of shocking. It's supposed to jar you. And so it was always like a degradation of this angelic. Aaliyah was very angelic, very powerful to the divine feminine, and very much protected. Now that, her parents completely sold her. I mean, people around her completely just did her dirty. But she was an emblem and a symbol of the divine feminine. It just reeks through her aura, her angelic energy. But it was always like this thing in the rap industry amongst this battle rap stuff. I noticed that, and it never sat right with me. I'm like, oh, that's such a low blow. Why are you bringing up Aaliyah? But that's literally how it goes. It's like you harness the energy, degrade it. It's pure. It has to be like a pure energy, an innocent energy, and the more you degrade it, for whatever reason, this is what they get off on. These people literally have spirits attached to them. I'm not saying that the Loaded Lux person had and I know he said a derogatory comment about Aaliyah. I'm not saying him in particular, but I'm saying like multiple times I witnessed this in the industry where people would just take a dig at someone that they knew they sacrificed. Michael Jackson being one of them. Michael Jackson they call him Wacko Jacko and all this stuff. And taking innocence and degrading it. That's just how that industry is. And it's a part of Satanism. It's satanic ritual abuse. It's as simple as that. And so I want to play some things because I'm going to show you the text messages and certain things that will confirm what I'm talking about. So let's take a look.
A little bit more.
Oh, shout out to Black Balloon. I love this guy, but let's
check this.
I'm just briefly go through shit quick because I was gonna wait until after the funeral to speak the truth on what the hell happened and what's going on with Channing and over the past year or so. I don't know how long it's been since you've been going through this, but I figured out late, very, very late, and I tried to do something about it. So I want y'all to go read the messages first. First, I want to show y'all in the message what's being explained to me is to give her the pills. Now, the message y'all are saying, y'all keep saying I said I gave her the pills. No, I don't know where y'all see that I'm saying that at. I keep telling y'all, the family told me to give her the pills. The family told me to give her the pills. Look at the message. If you see the message, I say, it's a bag of that shit left. It's a bag of it left. She hasn't taken pills since Saturday this is when she was coherent and doing what she wanted to do. She already took that shit Saturday on her own. Sunday, she didn't take shit. When you see the message and they told me what to do, I didn't do it. I still got them. I still got the same bag that y'all see I said I had. I still got it over here. I didn't give it to her. Now, my whole problem with the mother is this that I didn't like. When she died, I called the 911 first. Boom. After I got off the phone with the paramedics and they got to my apartment, because I don't know where y'all think this happened at, but she's been at my house for the last 7 days. When the paramedics got here and they started working on her, I called her mother immediately. That's what you see. Because I told her, hey, I couldn't even explain to her right, because I kept breathing like I ain't never experienced that shit before. So when I'm breathing like that, I'm trying to process and slow down and explain what the fuck is going on. Like,
So he's panicking. But look at this Shiva statue, Eiffel Tower in the background. Look at this Eiffel Tower in the back. Guys do know that the Eiffel Tower is based on certain ley lines and grid lines. It's symbolism of the obelisk symbol, but it's an electromagnetic tower that pretty much can trap frequencies. It traps souls pretty much. The Eiffel Tower it redirects energy, and you can look this up for yourself. It's a Eiffel Tower is a form of biogeometry. You see that she got the Eiffel Tower right in the back of her. She got Shiva on her arm. Again, this information is not for lay people. This is why we did have an issue. Like people say, we people get mad at God or whatever because they feel like it was hiding information, and Lucifer wanted to give the information out and give this knowledge out. These fallen white angels wanted to give this knowledge out, and it wasn't. You have to work your way up to that. So if angels had this information, that means Archangel Michael knows about the information, Gabriel, Uriel, that angels know about all of this stuff. However, if a group decides to defect, get in an argument and get upset, and they come to planet Earth, and they end up teaching y'all guys all this shit that you pretty much cannot handle. This is primordial knowledge for a certain bloodline, and you do have to. Humans do get access. Say if you're a human and you're 3D, you can work your way up to get access to that information. That's not the problem. But a 26-year-old girl and this girl right here with a tongue out, in the music industry and Gucci Mane's label and all that. No, that's not what that information is supposed to be used for no music industry, for no contract and no money and no fame. That's not what that information is used for. When you see these snakes, the Negus, and you see the Shiva on the arm, and Shiva's a very primordial energy. That's the energy that's so primordial. I mean, and it's not a fall. Shiva is not a fallen watcher. If you guys may think he's a fallen. I know somebody had asked me, are the Hindu avatars fallen angels? Some are, some are not. Hanuman, Vedic deities are not. Vedic deities are primordial. Shakti deities are primordial. Hindus have various pantheons, different classes of gods. Some they also have a class of their own demons. They also have some that are like more like on an angelic level, but they have primordial energies that come from the Negus. Oh man, I don't even know if I should be getting into all of this. I'm not going to be talking about all of this on the internet. But yeah, Shiva is one of the big dogs. That's not something that say if you're just an industry person, that you don't just go tap into that energy for fame and fortune, or that's connected to this imitation Kabbalah, or this imitation science, or this imitation knowledge of the order of Melchizedek. Okay. And so you pretty much is asking to get the frame tore out your ass by these entities, not Shiva himself, but imposter entities, shit that's way above your pay grade. Yes, spirits impersonate certain primordial deities. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. There's a spirit that's impostoring Lucifer. It's all types of deep ass shit that y'all don't, that can't even really, that's like, it's so deep. It's so deep. But I do want to make it clear that if fallen angels gave y'all this information, that means that other angels know this information. That means that people that are in heaven, or I don't even, because I'm trying to, obviously it's not like that, but for humans, for certain humans, this is guys where you're at. For in certain dimensions, rather 125th dimension and higher dimensions, they already know this information, and they have worked their way up to be able to understand and handle that. They have earned it. It's in their bloodline. They were destined for it. They were chosen for it. And so you'll see most times, that's why for those that's really, really in the know, when I'm speaking to priestesses right now in the depths, you would know that there would be very little distinction in the information, whether you learn from an angel or a demon, or what you guys call a fallen watcher and an angel. Seriously. And you can, that's just, it's literally, you don't have to click your feet 3 times or pray. Logic will tell you that if fallen watcher came from the 125th dimension onto planet Earth and gave y'all information from that 125th dimension, but they were not even mature enough to really understand what the hell it was themselves, and they give it to you guys, then that means beings from the 125th dimension already know that information, and it is okay for them, and it's sanctioned for them to know that information. And some of them, yes, will come down here on this planet Earth to correct some things. Some of them will come to even teach and start their own little thing. And this is why when people, like the person that had asked me, and I didn't take offense to anything, but he's like, oh, is the Egyptian gods all fallen angels? No, not all. No, some come here to give off information to this planet and a drip feed content, because this is a school. This is also a play net, but it is planet Earth is also a school where you can learn to evolve. It's an accelerator, it's a potentiator. So planet Earth having this idea of a free will, being a free will planet, necessitates that you can accelerate the potential for your soul quicker than, say, on a dimension where there is no free will, where there is no contrast or duality. And yes, there are planets that don't have free will. It just is what it is. Even you think of Saturn. Saturn is a planet that does not have free will. A lot of people don't know that. Maybe people do. People that really study these. Come on, Saturn. That's obvious. It's a planet of, yes, ancestral karma, discipline, vast intelligence, vast anything that has to do with like investigations and technology. But it's a planet that follows order. Order is important. Hierarchy is important. Make it some elements that are decentralized, but hierarchy is very important on Saturn. And that element is not meant, it's meant to govern out certain aspects of entropy and chaos in the universe. But when it comes to planet Earth, it is meant to, to teach you guys about that discipline and that order and that contrast. But it's to balance out, not to necessarily restrict your free will. But on planet Earth, it is a lot more. You do have more freedom to experience it, the vast frequencies that can be, whether that be a 3D, 4D, 5D, different levels of density, different levels of dimension, while at the same time, you could be literally living next to a person that may be on a 3D, 4D, and you may be a 10D being. This how just planet Earth is. Some even have cloaking. Some beings have the ability to cloak themselves. Some beings have the ability to go through certain barriers, like quantum tunnels. So there are human beings on this planet that can quantum tunnel right now in 2024. Quantum entanglement, quantum superposition. It is human beings on this planet that have those capabilities, and we call it psychoastras, whatever you want to call it. But yes, some beings have that gift naturally through their bloodline. Some people took a deal or oath pact or went through to go get those gifts, or some people snatched them off of others who didn't know. But yeah, so this baby girl is right in front of you. This Eiffel Tower, the tongue out Kali, Eiffel Tower, Shiva statue. It's all symbolisms but she's under Monarch. She's under MK Ultra. So there's a script playing out in her motherfucking brain, like a computer program, of this imitation Kabbalah. This imitation is deeper than Kabbalah. This imitation order of Melchizedek energy. Because in the order of Melchizedek, you learn multiple pantheons as a priest or a priestess. As a matter of fact, I even say dragon rider energy. This is an imitation dragon rider, and you're expected to know these various sciences and how they interconnect. And again, it's way above Earth's. It's above Earth's understanding. I mean, you guys. I don't even want to go that deep, but nonetheless, you see this Eiffel Tower. If you didn't know that is electromagnetic symbol that can trap frequencies, send out frequencies, and then she got the primordial being Shiva on her arm. Shiva is also called the destroyer, but he's also a creator. He's not just a destroyer. He's not a demon. This is a primordial entity that transcends even Abrahamic religions was created before the Abrahamic religions. If you guys didn't know that, it's a Vedic. Shiva is that's hard. That's powerful energy to deal with for a 26-year-old dope fiend who doesn't really know life. I'm not coming at this lady. Not coming at this lady at all. This baby girl, actually. But he's one of the Vedic gods. He's also a protector. This is one of the big dogs. His wife is Kali and Durga. One of his wives is Parvati. But yeah, this is deep stuff. And I'm not the arbiter of who says or who should be studying what or what should be getting into what or what information should be getting out. That's not really the point of this video, because what's done is done, right? What's done is done. In terms of the botched information that the human race has, that's completely cursed the planet, and even cursed melanated people, to be quite frank. But yeah, Shiva is a great ascetic. He does abstain from indulgence and pleasure, believe it or not. Like, we don't know that. He does believe in asceticism, which means attaining a higher spiritual knowledge, always focusing on meditation to find happiness. Now, there is a duality with Shiva. Okay. You can, I mean, I'm wondering if the industry probably is tapping into the darker side of Shiva. I'm not sure, but the Hindu pantheon, they do have a duality with most of their gods. Now, there is a sect. There's a different types of groups that even within the Shivaism pantheon, or school of thought rather, there's one sect that believes that they have Shiva who wipes away ignorance and illusion. And then you have the ascetic version of Shiva. And then you have the various even avatars of Shiva. And so this is deep stuff. And so I'm kind of like, wow, she had this on her arm. And, she probably was doing again, a gory practice is used in the industry, but it's once again reversed engineered so that they can keep control over the artists and keep mind control over them by drugs and alcohol and indulgence, sex. That's why they say sex, drugs, rock and roll. It's called sex, drugs, rock and roll for a reason. It's sex, hedonism, it's rock and roll, it's music, the Luciferian, music and resonance, and then it's drugs. So it's a very but again, just because someone takes esoteric information from another culture and use it to bastardize it or use it to gain profit off it, doesn't mean that the pantheon itself is wrong. It means that there are people that that are exploiting or misunderstanding or purposely reverse engineering a esoteric science. Okay, and so that's what it is in that industry, very, very clearly. And so, yeah, that's right there. It tells you what she signed up for, not what she signed up for, but I'm telling you, her parent. This is somebody older. This is somebody, because I'm telling you, even if you look at my gematria and even my gematria, but as well as remember we talked about that mysterious essence of God around the person in terms of the epigenetic Kabbalah that's around you, you'll know what somebody had gotten into or what their bloodline had gotten into or what's competing in the bloodline. Sometimes there are some family members that made a pact that the stuff will fall on the kid. The kid won't know though, but they're still playing out that Kabbalah epigenetics. And then there's other ancestors in the bloodline that are free, that can get that kid free, or that will war on the behalf of that kid to get them out of the fucked up deal that the parent put them in. And that's literally what happened with me. And so, like, if you see Kali, J.N.S, and then you start studying, like, I got one parent named Mary, another parent named James, right? You guys know that James is an English version of her term Jacob. So we got Jacob, Mary, grandfather named Joseph, family of the Jordans. My name means Grace, play off Virginia, off of Hebrew Jane. Jenny, my real name Jenny is a play off of Jane, and that's also a Hebrew. You start looking at the Kabbalah energy around just my genealogy, even the streets that I lived on. And like if you looked at my ID, one of my previous IDs, I had no idea this, and then looked at some of the stuff that was lined up with the genealogy. The street that I lived on literally had, I could not believe it. It had one parent's name on one end of the street, one parent's name on the other, King David on one street, a Mason temple, like just, it was just like, what in the world? And then every name about the Abbey in Westminster, that street is a palace and is based on the royal palace in Britain. And there's a book that there was a genealogy, a heraldry book that was placed in the Westminster Palace that had all of my parents and all of my ancestors' surnames in this book. Not just a lot of Black Americans' names is in this book that was locked. And I told y'all about that book and how it was guarded, and that was pretty much a binding ritual that was done on certain monarch bloodlines that were Black that had to flee from Europe to America after the loss of the Jacobite Wars, as well as the expulsion of the Moors from Spain. This is literally, like, you could study this in your genealogy through your surnames, through your coat of arms. Look at your IDs. Like, don't just think the street you're living on is just a street that you just picked. It's all a mysterious Kabbalah epigenetic. It could be ancestral. It could be the essence of God itself, or it can be some parents that done MK'd ultra your ass or done got you in a contract that's trying to get out of it. You know, it could be some serious stuff. But I'm just saying, even if you were to look at even my situation, so other Kabbalists that are well that's actually well studied in this, they will see that they were studying my stuff and were like, oh shit, and they'll surround you, try to get you into some sort of deal or some type of contract or some shit like that, and that's what they would do. And that's, I'm just giving you an example of my own. Last surnames Jordan, Mary, Joseph, James, Jacob. And James is also a form of that means a supplanter, but it is, a lot of people don't know that James is a play on Jacob, and Jacob and Jamie obviously is a supplanter. So all these are like Hebrew. These are all, if you look up, Hebrew words and it's carved out meticulously, too meticulously, if you ask me. And I won't get into other stuff in my genealogy, but apparently the powers that be always knew that, and they wanted their hands on me and my sister. They that's why we were in the ward of the state, and I was in a foster care. I was in foster care as a kid, but nonetheless, the government is. I'm not just the only one with this type of. I told y'all to go look at even Jay-Z's gematria and everything that was around him before fame. Go and look at your own. Look at your families. Look at whoever. Like, this shit is so deep and serious as far as how this stuff works, and people will know that on you. Most Black Americans are not paying attention to this stuff. They just, we into the Black church, and that's fine, right? But you got to know, if you're gonna understand your Yeshua character, you have to understand the analogies behind it, as well as the actual the true energy behind it. As being a priest of Melchizedek, what he knows in terms of the gnosis, the body of work being rooted in more so in Gnosticism, and Commission science, and believe it or not, Shakti Agori over anything else that is hidden from the average Christian. And it's fine. I ain't trying to lead nobody off. Y'all do y'all. I'm at a rank where I clearly can understand this stuff from a different point of view. So my message is not to tell you this stuff so that to convert you or to get you into something. Do whatever you've been doing. This is for people that already have clearance to even understand this information. Again, there are humans on this planet that it is okay for them to know this information, because like I just said, if fallen angels came down here to give y'all the information, then that means that other beings can come down. Angels can come down and give y'all this information. Other beings will know this stuff. It's nothing. And then we the ones that end up, they try to kill us, get us off, knock us off, because they trying to keep a lot of this stuff secret. And to be honest, it was never, once this stuff was already out, some of this stuff is not supposed to be secret, for one. Some of it is not. Two, some of it is botched. And so, yes, there were beings, there will always be beings that will come down and correct certain things. So some of the information is botched. And then some of the information, it's just simply not supposed to be a secret in today's time. Because you can see the descent of humanity. You can see the descent of humanity from certain civilizations that you guys consider primitive, that are actually way more knowledgeable and have way more understanding of the balance of the earth and connections with the earth and the cosmos than humans today in 2024. Our ancestors were way smarter than us. Our ancestors had more knowledge of us. They knew knowledge of grid lines, ley lines, how to harness the energy of certain earths and electromagnetic fields to build their whole cities on. It's called biogeometry. Architects to this day use biogeometry to build out their own city plannings. Most cities in America are based off of, they literally, like, let's say for Washington, D.C., you guys know that obelisk that you see in Washington, you know that was actually imported from Egypt. You guys do know that, right? You do know that Washington, D.C. is based on certain grid lines and ley lines that have naturally charged energy in certain parts of this earth. There's crystals in this earth. So certain parts of the earth are going to be more electromagnetically charged, for others with certain beneficial energy. Remember, we talked about the negative green energy with horizontal energy and horizontal and vertical electromagnetic energy. We talked about that for a reason. And so that's all over this planet. And you can test this with, like, say, a pendulum, or what's those pendulums that you see. Believe it or not, that can tell you where the energy lines are. Actually, you can actually see where ants are at. You can study the animals. If you see certain ants, you could kind of know that, okay, that's maybe some vertical energy over there, because it's ant colonies over there. If you see termites on trees, that's vertical energy. Our ancestors knew this stuff. That's vertical energy. We got to stay away from that area. Even if you see like a place where there's like if you see certain places where like the dogs like to be around, that you know that you're probably in a good space to build a city on, or the energy on the ground where there's maybe some good crystals under there. As far as the charge of the energy. So our ancestors knew this stuff, and that's how they were building pyramids, or they would be able to neutralize the energy. You could still build a city. Say if you do find a bunch of ant colonies somewhere, and you know that there's vertical green energy, which means energy that's kind of harmful to humans, more radiation, pretty much. If you know there's more radiation, you could just build certain. At that point, you could build certain structures to offset it. You can still build on there. Now, obviously, you know, in a black neighborhood, they're going to put your ass where all the ant colonies is at, all the termite. But it's up to us to chant. We have the science, and certainly the natural, mysterious essence of God and the epigenetics to build our own structures to offset any EMFs, which is electromagnetic rays that are kind of harmful, that cause radiation. Any type of radiation, we have the power to do all that. And so, yes, this information clearly is being bastardized and exploited in the music industry. And I'm not the one to sit up there and wag my finger or anything like that. I'm just speaking of how I see it. And, you know, all things come into correction and balance. That's just the nature of the universe, because the universe evolves towards balance. The universe evolves towards justice, and the universe evolves towards enlightenment, innovation, and love. You know, things that create high governing force, that creates more ability for us to express our gifts and to express why we even came onto this planet. And so, unfortunately, in this industry, we see the fuckery. So I know that was a long tangent, but I really want you to get the information about this Eiffel Tower. You guys can look that up. Matter of fact, I know I'm long-winded. Eiffel Tower, electro. I just want you guys to see this for yourself, because this is important, because souls get trapped by the Eiffel Tower. It's a radio. It's a radio signal. Okay. Okay. So here, you see it right here. Okay. And look at the Eiffel Tower grows. It literally grows. Like, this shit is serious. Like, studying ley lines and stuff to build your city on. That's why I talk about the Black Americans with intentional communities and the Queen Mothership. Y'all love to laugh at me or whatever. But yeah, I study this stuff, because if we're gonna build our intentional communities, you think we're gonna just gonna build it anywhere? No. Just like with Tamaray with Dr. York. You think they just picked that place in Georgia, just some random place? No. This guy was heavily, he was not sanctioned to give the information out. So they came down on him because he took an oath to their system to protect their system. And so unfortunately, when he's trying to give out this liberation enlightenment, which is a beautiful thing in the heavenly realm, the system still came after him. Only because of the deal that he had made, though. Is there are people that can do that and they can't get him out the pain, because it was their knowledge to begin with, like a Sun Ra. I mean, come on, they couldn't touch Sun Ra. But yes, science. I'm trying to see more about that electromagnetic energy of the Eiffel Tower. Okay. Tower, the study of how air moves around objects. Okay, I want to talk more about the electricity part, though. This is important, the electricity part, because again, souls get trapped. Frequencies, rather, because you guys will say souls, but certain frequencies get trapped in the Eiffel Tower, and it's by design to do that, or to monitor frequencies. But let's see. Trying to see this stuff. So they were doing experiments, as you can see, resistance and propulsion in the square of the object surface. Eiffel built a wind tunnel at the bottom of the tower. So again, it's a large tube, which was, this is the window. I'm trying to save by radio. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Eiffel Tower, they had it in 1898. They carried out an experiment from the tower's third floor. So he was interested in making practical use of radio waves. This is just so you guys don't think I'm just making up some shit. So they used this as an experiment to this electromagnetic radiation is generated just as visible light is by accelerating electrically charged particles. So you guys see that. In 1890s, the main way that people communicated over long distances was using a telegraph. This device conveyed messages using a special code across an electric wire. Radio waves carried the messages. Thoughts are radio waves. If you guys didn't know, consciousness and telecommunication go hand in hand. That's why you have Wi-Fi and all these frequency waves. And yeah, telepathy is real, guys. Yeah. Okay, so here you go. 1 year later, wireless messages were sent for the first time from France to Great Britain across using this Eiffel Tower experiment. So this is biogeometry, gathering military intelligence. Look at this. It traps frequencies. It can harness radio waves, but that also means the soul energy for power of words. Okay, so look at electromagnetic radiation. Energy that travels as a wave, including forms of light. Okay, electricity and magnetism. Those are the two words you need to know. But your whole body is an electromagnetic energy itself. Even consciousness is of certain form. These are different forms now. Your body is in a meat suit. It's 3D, 4D, 5D meat suit, physical. But as it goes through different densities of dimensions, the wavelength changes. Okay. And so you have radio waves to gamma rays, infrared waves, microwave waves, and visible light. So once your body dies, you go into a different wavelength. That's all you do. Your consciousness goes into its true wavelength form. Now, for those that make an agreement or sign a contract to stay here, yeah, your ass could or gambled and played that Illuminati murder of reality Pierce Abet game. It's not Pierce Abet's game, but that's the book you need to read if you want to know what I'm talking about. By read Murder of Reality. They played that game, your ass may get motherfucking trapped. And many of them can't leave. Fallen angels can't leave. That's why they love trapping y'all motherfucking asses down here with them. Or they want to hitch a ride off of you. They can get out through the ionosphere through music artists who agree to allow them to. That's why people bind themselves, or they bind themselves to those entities in the contracts in the music industry. This is all deep shit. Oh yeah, radio waves. I just want you guys to know these certain things. I always talk about electromagnetism. I have a bunch of books talking about it. So we have electric charge. This is also relates to the law of gender. You know, if you guys want to know more about electromagnetism, you can read about it in my last two books, as well as the law of gender book, which is like a couple years ago, like 3 years ago. But yes, the physical so electric charge is the physical property responsible for electric force. It can be negative or positive. Okay, so electron is the negative, and then the positive is the not the neutron, the proton. Yeah, the proton. And so that also relates to the yin and yang. You need a background in Tao to understand this stuff, as well as the divine masculine, divine feminine. You do need a background in, certain esoteric knowledge to follow me here. Again, I don't. If you're new and you don't understand what I'm talking about, it's fine. But usually, it's a little more. I would say those would. My audience, this target audience for this video is those that have a little more knowledge about these topics. I just want to read to you, drinking one of them cayenne kombuchas. I just want to read to you one more word: radio waves, a type of radiation generated like the rainbow of colors that make up visible light by the acceleration of charged particles. Radio waves have much longer wavelengths than visible light and can be detected by the human eye. So thoughts are radio waves. You know, when you pick up your phone, and you remember the movie The Matrix when they make a phone call and the person traveled through. I know y'all don't think that that's real, but that's very real. You won't see it though in 3D. You can, maybe some of you are adapt enough to feel it, but yeah, that's how like some people. When you go, especially those of you that's like under, if you're a targeted individual or you're under psychic attack, you'll notice a lot of people, random people want to call you. People just want to call you and talk to you on the phone. Only on the phone, though. No other method. They're desperate to talk to you on the phone. I don't know if you guys ever ran into that. Those who deal with what I'm talking about, you guys know what I'm talking about, where people just want to like force phone calls with you. They demanding that you talk on the phone. Yeah, they about to travel through your mother. You won't see it though. They about to travel through the wavelength of that phone and send it and project their consciousness, or they astral project through that motherfucking phone, and you won't see it though. And they will be fucking up your life. That's how I'm telling you, y'all think this shit is a game. But y'all can laugh now and we'll cry later. But that's definitely one way that they do it. And so when you saw that in movie Matrix, when you saw them digitizing and coming through that phone on the other side, oh yeah. Now you could do that just through thoughts. You don't even have to use a phone. The telepathy is real. And so yes, let's continue though. Eiffel Tower, yes. Tangent. Forgive me. But that's just important that you know that this girl she didn't know she was under MK Ultra, but she was definitely always set up to be a sacrifice. Or she could have gained the knowledge and understood what was going on around her, get some help, talk with some people that can teach her some game, and then get out of whatever they were going to try to do, get herself clean, and walk away. She could have done that too, but I'm telling you, they keep you on drugs on purpose. They keep you fucked up on purpose, and they put a bunch of handlers around you and a bunch of people that want to eat off your death and eat off you, or eat off your talents and your gifts that God, the primordial God, gave you. That's just what the industry does. That's why I have to be very careful, and they do this in politics as well. So he's panicking because he know, like, whoa, what the hell? We're gonna break down on text messages too. So if you guys are waiting for that, trust me, we're gonna break down on text messages. I also want to address this Julio Folio thing too.
All right. If everybody could pray for Jen, pray. I'm trying to tell. She was calm. And then it was even making me more dramatic. So I'm like, why are you so calm right now? I'm losing my mind. Her mom calmed me down.
See, he said her mom calmed him down. The mom was so calm. He freaking out. He probably don't have awareness of what's going on. His mom do. His mom want this girl to die. Make no mistake about it.
Her mom was calm enough to calm me down. And I'm thinking, why are you so calm? I just died. Like, why is everybody acting normal? Why is
everybody acting normal? Because they knew she was going to die. They were all in on it. They didn't care. They wanted it to happen. He's probably one of them handlers that don't know shit, but he's been getting paid or whatever. Somebody's paying him, and he don't know nothing. And they've been telling him to give her the drugs, give her the drugs, give her the drugs. They all in on it, but it's not everybody will be in on it. Not everybody will know what the hell's going on.
Normal. I'm tripping. I'm losing my mind right now. What the fuck I just seen with my eyes? So they wouldn't let me ride in an ambulance.
They wouldn't let him ride in the ambulance because he was someone that actually probably cared about her, and they didn't want him again. They wanted her to die. That's why they were so calm.
Because I told the mom I dropped my location. If you see at 2:32 something, drop my location, said, whoop, whoop, we're going to this hospital. I drove up to the goddamn hospital. They wouldn't let me inside the waiting room where you see where I did that video that was in the lobby. Because it took her mama 2 hours and 30 minutes just to tell me she was on the way.
See? I'm telling you, this stuff is planned out. Like, it's angering me because I know I see stuff on the spiritual realm, and it is kind of pissing me off because I hate when people play on people's top, because this shit almost happened to me. And so you won't hear me jump off my bag in this video. I ain't gonna hold you because I know what they did to this girl, because I literally saw this shit almost happen to me, and I had to fight like hell on the spiritual realm, like on levels you have never seen. And my ancestors, like, I'm telling you, like, because people will closest to you will line you the fuck up. And I'm telling you, 2 hours and 30 minutes to get to tell them that she but let's just keep going, because this shit is getting this shit is pissing me off. Okay, here we go right here. Did she get any? This is the mother in this guy exchange. Do she get any of them guys left? If she do, give her all of what it is. These are about the drugs. If she doesn't have any, I'm on the way. She would have to wait till I get there. So this mother was in on giving this girl drugs. She do. It's another bag of that shit. She was just feeling like she needed to go to the hospital, but she fell asleep now. So he's showing the text messages because he want to know, like, I'm not, because they know it's a sacrifice, and you know, so he tried to be like, I didn't have nothing to do with this shit. She calmed me down. He's using his words real carefully. I don't know. Again, he's trying to let people know I wasn't in on this. I did not do this. I was not in on doing this to this girl. They would not let me in the ambulance. They, you know, the mom was, everybody around is so calm. He panicking, freaking out, crying. And maybe this could be game. I don't know this guy, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. So maybe y'all know more. Y'all probably know way more about this shit than I do, because I honestly don't even listen to this girl's music. You know, I think she's talented, but that's just not the type of music I listen to. And so y'all probably know more in depth about, you know, the him, but, you know, because people was blaming him, but it looked like he's trying to clear his kind. Like, he like, nah, this is the mother right here in the gray saying, did she get any of them guys left? If she do, give her all of what it is. All of what it is. You're asking someone to overdose your daughter. If she doesn't have any, I'm on the way. She just had to wait till I get there. She do. It's another bag of that shit. She was just feeling like she needed to go to the hospital, but she fell asleep now. Come on. I mean, if that's not a setup, I know y'all could see that right in front of y'all motherfucking face. And I'm not getting mad at y'all. I'm just like, I to see shit like this play out, and to know that it's happening to so many people, and people that's not even famous, that don't have this type of fame, but someone trying to get out of a deal, or they trying to sacrifice you to get out of their contract, whatever. It happens just on regular everyday life. You do not have to be a celebrity. Or when somebody's trying to get you to go to another level so that they can benefit off of whatever you sign, or whatever little money you're going to get. You know, they think you're going to take care of them or whatever. Parents do this shit to their kids all the time. See, this is the mother again. That's because she has to do a certain amount, or she will feel like that. But when it's time to get her back up, when she do, just give her all that. Okay, I'm here. Are you close? Just give her all that. This is the mother. This is an MK Ultra victim. And y'all we waking this shit up in this motherfucking community. I don't care what nobody say. This shit is like, this stuff has infiltrated our Black American community. Y'all don't want to admit that. Y'all want to cover for people. Y'all want to act like it doesn't exist. And this shit has totally infiltrated. And this is like the imitation version. This is not even the real version of what our shit is. So I know we thinking, yeah, we have bloodline ties to this stuff. Yes, we do. But if y'all go and sign deals with a fake ass with a system to drive your inertia, to be able to control your star inertia, which essentially your level of awareness, which is consciousness. You make a deal to give someone, they tell you to give you the whole world if you sign over your consciousness, or you guys would say so. That is the most craziest deal in the world that you would ever think to, like, for those that's in the awareness, those who know, especially enlightened beings, ascended masters, we know, like, that's like a stop, no go, hell no, hell no. But humans that don't know any better, or you're a victim of circumstances and environment, you may have dealt with so much poverty, you may not even know anything, and so they see your talent, they see your light, they come to you, they studied your, remember, your mysterious essence of God around you, your natural Kabbalah epigenetics and your bloodline, and they come and offer you something, and they tell you, for that inertia, for your star inertia, we'll give you the world. And it's not worded that way, of course, but that's essentially what it is. And so you see the sexy red contract, you see the sexy reds out here, you see all this. This is just what this is about. It's a bastard. It's an imitation form of reverse engineered knowledge that was stolen. Some of this stuff, I could say, it was stolen by the follow watchers themselves. So we can't even blame humans. It's not even a blame on humans, because if you don't know better, you don't fucking know better. You just don't know. So this is not me scolding humans at all. However, you know, a lot of the fallen watchers, they fucked up. That's what it is. I don't know what to tell you. And I tried to tell you that a primordial energy is so much older than, say, the fallen angels. So like the being that you guys love, or that a lot of people in the industry love, Lucifer. That energy is a young energy compared to the rest of the galaxy. We're talking about, at that time when it first came down here, we're talking about 10 to 15 years. I'm sorry, 5 to 10 years old. Right now in 2024, we're talking about 15 to 17. This is a very young energy. And again, we're talking about in terms of the overall cosmic galactic energy. Now compared to you guys, this would be someone that would be seen as like a guy. And I'm not talking about this, not just this particular fallen angel. It's even the angels, Archangel Michael, all of them. Angels are galactically the age right now about 15, 17 years old. But when planet Earth first came in formation, we talk about 5, a little bit after planet Earth's formation, a little bit after Earth's evolution, we're talking about 5 to 10. So these are very young energies compared to a primordial energies, like the divine feminine, the Shakti energies, even the Shiva energy, believe it or not, is much older than the Luciferian energies. And so now you have beings that are cosmically 5 to 10 years old teaching humans, which are like 2 weeks to 2 years old, information, and they thinking they got the holy grail. They think they got all, we figured it all out. But again, stolen knowledge cursed the world. So they don't have all the knowledge. And then on top of that, it was stolen twice, because melanated people had the knowledge and information, safeguarded it. It got into the wrong hands. Overthrow the matriarchy, overthrow the queen mother shit. Boom, all your shit go. White people got all our shit. Twisted it, fucked it up. They barely understand it. And now they want to regurgitate it back to you and act like you got to go to them to get your shit, to know some knowledge. You got to ride a go, or you got to go to them to understand some shit. And that is crazy. That's crazy. You're letting them teach you an infant race. Infant. And the white race will tell you that they're infants, and they only about 10,000 to 40,000 years old in terms of their genetic deviation from losing melanin. They will tell you that. They own scientists, they own biologists will tell you we only 10,000 and 40,000 years old in terms of having that recessive trait of not having no melanin. So a being that has melanin has been on this planet for millions plus years, that have primordial genetic light code, that may even have Negus night light code. They may have 125th dimension light code, Dragon Rider light code, Earth light code, Mother Earth light code, Divine Feminine light code. You think that in your right mind, you're going to go to them to go and learn some shit from them. Signing them damn contracts, signing them stupid deals, all this stuff, taking these stupid oaths and pacts. And this is what black people are doing. And then when somebody try to come wake it up and say, hey, let's not do this anymore, then I'm the bad guy, and I'm being told that I got to be killed. Or people like me, we got to get knocked off. We get targeted, harassed. People like Jaguar Wright, people like Orlando Brown, we the ones that get called crazy and all that stuff, because we trying to wake it up and tell our people, like, no, we we really need to come out from among them. We really need to practice our own ancient galactic melanated cosmic sciences from the way that we understand it, which is inherently the divine feminine. No, black people don't want to believe that. Africans don't want to believe that. Black Americans don't want to believe it. Some of us do. Some of us get it. Some of us are highly evolved. Some of you guys are bodhisattvas. Some of you guys are messengers or prophets. Some of you guys are just students who are more advanced than the other humans. And so some of you guys get this. But I'm telling you, this story pisses me off because I'm reading these text messages. Ooh, I'm like, this mother set this girl up. The black woman set her up. Like, this shit just got me fuming. Because this is such a bastardized version, like, of what we know as far as me. Y'all could look at me. I am in the flesh. I am human. I am in the flesh. I'm an American citizen. But I am an avatar. And I do have primordial, very high level primordial knowledge and memory of my primordial ancestors. They have given me information. My ancestors have taught me in dreams. Many beings on this planet that were humans have given me knowledge, have helped me along my path. In recently have given me information. And so I know that hearing this stuff, this is botched shit. This is stuff like even like situation like with Kanika Jenkins. What did y'all think that Kanika Jenkins shit was about? Like, this is what stuff our people are engaging in. And I know it's infuriating to God. And it's not in a way in a sense of like judgment or, oh, you're going to hell. It's not, I mean, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about like the frustration of dealing with foreign bloodlines that are using deception to trick you out of star inertia, that are creating strongholds generationally on the bloodlines, cursing the bloodlines, cursing the divine feminine, and cursing black women's and black children's, and by proxy, obviously, the black man. But this stuff right here of going to engage in for fame and fortune and selling people up to the highest bidder and all this, this stuff is creating strongholds that are going to pass down generationally. And so that's where the anger comes from. It's not because, oh, you are go so wrong, we need to punish you in eternity for hell. No, it's not like that. It's about you don't have awareness of what this stuff is, and we're trying to we put it in front of you of what needs to happen. Stay away from this stuff, not because it's wrong to learn, but because, to be honest, a lot of y'all are not mature to handle this information. And then using it for fame and fortune, or for somebody else to get out of their deal, or someone to hitch a ride with dying to entities so that they can get out of the matrix because they can't leave 3D and all this. But oh, hell no, that's crazy. That's crazy. And so there's not so much anger at humans than it is at what the fuck did y'all do? What the hell did the fallen angels do down here? Somebody got to answer. Somebody got to answer. You know, and yeah, you know, Lucifer. We ain't gonna get too esoteric. But yeah, he aborted mission on this, a lot of this shit. That's why you're gonna see, like, by 2029, 2030, you're gonna see a lot of this stuff is falling completely. The matrix is completely collapsed. But you're gonna see more and more stuff. It's about to get real. It's about to get real. Because now it's primordial ancient entities back that are trying to awaken not just humanity, in addition to humanity, but the melanated powers that be. Black Americans, Africans, and Caribbeans, trying to wake us up to this awakening to realize, hey, don't you, it's your time, your malediction is up. It ended for Black Americans in 2019. Don't you think you need to be in that motherfucking White House? Don't you think you need to be coming up with our own new system, or take a hostile takeover of what they already got and start making this shit work in our favor? Getting rid of all this nonsense to where it's fair and where we have equity and where we can get the things that we deserve, and carving out a golden age, ushering in that 5D, ushering in, and it's not based on race, but it is based on frequency, and it is based on royal bloodlines. It is what it is. And get mad, them royal bloodlines have epigenetic light codes that have access to information and power that not all bloodlines have on this planet. It is what it is. It's always been about bloodline. And so, yes, there are certain Black Americans that have these epigenetic light codes of the Shakti Agori Tantra, of the Shivaism, of the Comitian science, of the Order of Melchizedek, of the ancient Kabbalah, ancient Gnosticism. Like, literally multiple layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. There are Black Americans that got this. There are people that know that you got this on you and want to snatch that shit off of you and want to bind themselves to you in them contracts. Yeah, this person got all this stuff when they got the power of da-da-da-da-da. We want that power. And so I'm pretty sure this lady, This baby girl right here, this picture with this Eiffel Tower and this Shiva and this tongue out, and then the Enchanting with the one-eyed pyramid and the Medusa and all that stuff. You think that she really? I mean, she was studying stuff. You know, her bloodline was prying for this. They probably do have a pact to Lucifer somewhere in the bloodline. It is what it is. But this is a disaster. This is a disaster for this to happen. They sacrificed this girl. And he's saying everybody around is calm, and she the only one. He's hysterical. When I know when that shit was about to happen to me, I was fucking hysterical, and I remember being in different dimensions, fighting, like spiritual warfare, like you have never seen. Spiritual warfare, like, because with me, I was in the days, like stuff going on around, and you don't be knowing if you like. Again, I can't wait till Black America wake up to how bad MK Ultra has infiltrated our community, and not just Black America, but literally the whole world, because that is the reversed engineering of Babylonian Sumerian occult knowledge that the elites use to brainwash humans. It's just simple as that. The Fallen Watchers use that to control your mind. It's like mind control. It just is what it is. Like, we're trying to end that. In many ways, the spell has broken, but in many ways, many of you think I can't even see how y'all can't see that. I literally see Black Americans literally walking into a den, like literally walking into their system, and I'm thinking like, they can't see that. Y'all can't feel that. Y'all can't feel that. That their system is literally on one last leg, is literally dying. Ain't no way in the world I'll make no deals or do anything with these people. And I know that their system is fucking dying like that. Hell no, that's crazy as hell. And so yes, that means you will get blacklisted, or you're gonna suffer materialistically. But if you don't tie your happiness to materialism, you can find peace and enlightenment right here. The greatest gift, and this is what I have to say. There was someone in my family that I know, he told me he broke his oath. He walked away, supposedly. I don't know how true that is, but that's what he told me. Because he already had lied to me to say he wasn't a part of the secret society. He said he left the secret society. I don't know if it's true or not. But if it is true, and based on some of the things that I had seen in the spiritual realm, I can say that the greatest gift, at least from the patriarch side of that bloodline, was the gift of enlightenment. Once you experience enlightenment, once you experience equanimity on that level, I have tears in my eyes even talking about. It will be. It's impossible. You will never, ever, 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 ever be swayed by something that's material, and that's all I gotta say. And most humans will never experience that. Only certain ascended masters, bodhisattvas, and during death, during moments of DMT, probably psychedelics can give you that experience. I'm telling you, that gift of enlightenment is priceless, and every human has access to that. Every human doesn't necessarily experience it, but every human definitely has access to get it. Every human have the ability to experience it. That doesn't mean that they will, though. So I'm not trying to make it seem like, just what I experience is so much superior or something like that, because anybody can get that. But once you experience that, this is what we talk about: the Siddhartha Gautamas, the Mahaviras, the Guru Nanaks, the Oshos, the Yeshuas. That level, once you get like that, even no matter, and awakening is messy. It's not perfect. It doesn't make you mean you're perfect. It doesn't mean, but once you experience that shit, yeah, you kind of could see this. You kind of could see everything around you for what it is, and it is hard. You'll be very hard pressed to tie your happiness and your self-worth to materialistic things, or to attention, validation, fame. You won't do that anymore. That doesn't mean you won't struggle with ego. I could pull up texts from ascended masters that clearly have ego issues. Clearly had moments of psychosis, because it is not even moments of psychosis, but when you're in a certain dimension or a certain level of understanding and you talk to a 3D being, you're going to sound, you're not going to, it's like, I'll give you an example. That's like Yeshua saying, somebody literally told Yeshua, oh, my father died. I got to go bury my father. Didn't say, oh, condolences. Oh, your father died. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. It was like, let the dead bury their dead. Come follow me. If somebody said it in 2024, what would you do? Y'all, that would be a fight. Bitch, I just told you that my father died, and you gonna tell me that oh well, come follow me. I ain't follow you. Who the fuck is you? Then you get into a whole fight. I'm telling you, like, enlightenment can be messy. It doesn't mean that you won't deal with your ego. It doesn't mean that you're gonna say things, because you can see things differently. That's like when somebody, that's just an example, but that's like even some of the things that the Buddha said. You'd be like, what the fuck? Did you just say that? But it happens. Same thing with Krishna and Arjuna. It just is what it is. And even with myself, I said something like, what did you just do that? Did you just say that? And it's not about being perfect, but I do have to say once again, and I encourage any human to never tie your happiness or your self-worth or your validation to anything that's materialistic on this 3D world. I mean, that should be common sense, but it's not. But don't do it. I mean, you think you get a designer bag, it gives you value, what $30,000 bag, a $30,000 bag, or a Bentley, or stupid shit like that. I'm telling you, like it's. I mean, if you got it like that, and you are free, completely free, you're free, and say you decide, to be able to get you something nice to treat yourself, of course. But in terms of losing your self-respect and losing, doing something that you would normally not do in order to get that, that's what I'm saying, stay away from. And thinking that somehow will increase your happiness, or it will increase your value if you do something that you don't want to do in order to get that. That is the trap. That is the imitation, fake magic. Don't do it. But let's continue.
I'm trying to tell, she was calm. And then it was even making me more dramatic. So I'm like, why are you so calm right now? I'm losing my mind. Her mom calmed me down. Her mom was calm enough to calm me down. And I'm thinking, why are you so calm? I just died. Like, why is everybody acting normal? Why is you acting normal? I'm tripping. I'm losing my mind right now. What the fuck I just seen with my eyes? So they wouldn't let me ride in an ambulance with them because I told the mom I dropped my location. If you see at 2:32 something, drop my location, said, whoop, whoop, we're going to this hospital. I drove up to the goddamn hospital. They wouldn't let me inside the waiting room where you see where I did that video. That was in the lobby. Because it took her mama 2 hours and 30 minutes just to tell me she was on the way. It took her 2 hours and 30 minutes just to tell me she was on the way. So they won't let me in the back. I'm in the front of the hospital by myself. Nobody, by myself. At this point, the doctors can't even get in touch with the mama. I can't get in touch with the mama. I don't know what's taking so long. This is before she told me she was on the way. Because I'm thinking as soon as I tell her, drop everything that you're doing, come now. No, they took 2 hours and 30 minutes to say they was on the way. Then took another 45 minutes. So I was there by myself. So when I didn't have nobody else to call and nobody was picking up the phone, I decided to go live, calm myself down, talk.
See, nobody picking up the phone. That's another thing they do. Taking her to the hospital. Okay, have you gotten there yet? I'm here. They said answer the phone.
Minutes to say that
with Channing mom. You started sharing location with Channing mom.
They was on the.
To be honest, he like I ain't had nothing to do with this shit. Look at this is what the mom did. 2 hours and 30 minutes just to get there.
Wait, then took another 45 minutes. So I was there by myself. So when I didn't have nobody else to call and nobody was picking up the phone, I decided to go live, calm myself down, talk to everybody and say if everybody could just pray. Somebody called me while I was on live. I forget I even did that. I was losing my mind. I was by myself. I'm calling people. Nobody's picking up. Everything that I said, I got the receipts to prove it. Look at the text messages that
he's saying I got the receipts to prove it. He like, look, Because he know like people gonna be looking at him. He knew people were gonna be looking at him. That's why he went live. He like, no, I ain't. You know, he trying to like.
And I sit here, I'm asking her because they won't let me in. So I'm like, have y'all made it there yet? I'm asking, have they met? Look at the timestamps. Everything that I'm saying checks out. I was there by myself for hours before they showed up, and I'm trying to figure out why everyone is so fucking calm. Why am I the only person losing my shit? Everybody's trying to calm me down.
All right, so based off of what we just heard, now I was a little confused because I was in hospitals. So I thought that was a little weird because I don't know if to fully just be like, oh, he's lying about where he was when he made that video, but I don't think he was sitting in a lobby when he did that live. Because what was he looking at? It looked like he was looking directly at her. Or
I'm telling you, this is what they said. They somebody's about to eat off for her. I don't know what kind of insurance. Somebody got an insurance policy, probably the label, or the mom is in on it. Cut it in on it. That's why she was saying, give her all of that. Everybody was calm, taking 2 hours or 30 minutes. I mean, come on, this is what this is. This beautiful girl, and she's very beautiful. But they set her up. They wanted her. They was she was making her. That's why Charleston White said fuck toy. But yeah, she was made to service these men in the industry, using these agoric tantric type of practice, well, more so tantric sex magic. And so they was using her energy for their benefit, most likely. And then when they wanted to completely write off and cash out, she was sacrificed. And that's as many crash dummies in the industry that they consider them crash dummies, but this is what they do. Sign so many people to a label. No one ain't gonna ever put out no music. No one ain't gonna get out no way. And you have all these people signed to a label, and it's really soul contract. So you control the energy marker, even in their death, or you're binding yourself to them for being specific. Particularly, once again, these imitation Kabbalists. Imitation Kabbalists go to the people with the real Kabbalic epigenetics already in their bloodline, already blessed, and trick them into signing with them, and they the ones that do the Kabbalah for them, but it's limited and it's a deal, and it is contractual, and it's again, it's limited compared to your already essence mystery of God is unconditional, unlimited, limitless, infinite potential, infinite energy. Once you could connect your stellar gateway to the fucking galaxy, and melanated people, you have this power to do that. And so, I'm not judging. And even if somebody's in a fucked up situation, they can still literally get out of it. In any situation, no matter what, how bad it is, no matter what, you can always get out of it and still connect your stellar gateway to this galaxy and get out this bitch, or stay in this bitch and do what the fuck you want to do and have heaven on earth. However you want to do it until God call you, whatever y'all want to do. Y'all want to wait for someone to come get you. You want to go travel yourself. You want to astral project. You want to go, whatever. But we have those capabilities. But this is. I'm telling you, we see this time and time again. It's not even funny. It's like time and time again. It's the same stuff over and over again, and nobody says anything. Everyone knows, but nobody is talking about it. And then now we're in 2024, and then people are now starting to speak out about it. 2022, Kanye West was talking about the sacrifice and these, how they monetize and traumatize. We want to monetize and traumatize. Trauma-induced mind control. And yes, Kanye West was always breaking his MK Ultra. They may have replaced him. That might not even be the Kanye West that we see right now. I'm not even trying to get into no conspiracy theory. Yes, transfer of consciousness is real. I can't even believe that we are even still having these conversations. It's how far behind humanity is. But nonetheless, Kanye West did try to wake that up in an interview. He did say they traumatize and monetize. We do know that they 5150'd him for saying certain things. And they constantly have labeled him crazy. But everything he says be checking out. They do that to a lot of people. They did that to Cat Williams. They always want to label somebody something. Then the shit they be saying be dead ass true time at the time, or the shit come to pass eventually. Sometimes you're just early on shit. You just gotta wait for the rest of the idiots to notice, or you gotta wait till somebody to stop being cowards, people to stop being afraid and cowards and speak up. And that's unfortunate. So Kanye West is now being vindicated on many things that he has warned us about these contracts. Kanye West literally was telling us about contracts 2 years ago. Like, we tired of these contracts. My contract said this and this and that. Prince tried to wake that up. Prince was talking about the contracts. Michael Jackson was talking about Tony Motorola. Everybody want to ignore them. Oh, they call Michael Jackson Wacko Jacko. He's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. Oh, everything he says checked out. It is true. Prince, they didn't really mess. They didn't really pull that crazy stuff with Prince. Prince, we talking about somebody that is literally a galactic, like Prince is a different character than most celebrities. Yes, he got himself in fucked up contract, right? And wanted out and saying he was a slave and trying to talk about waking up the stuff about the contracts. But you notice they didn't pull all that. He's crazy. He's this. He's that. He this. He this. He that. That was a whole nother worldly being. Like, that just happened to not know at the time about his own his Kabbalic epigenetics, his own magic, his own. This guy had stuff that was way over their motherfucking pay grade as far as what's in his bloodline. He had stuff that transcended anything that they know, just like I do. So they weren't fucking with him. They weren't going to sit up there and, they ended up getting him because that was the part of what he signed. That was in the contract. That was the contract is the contract. But at the end of the day, he spoke, he said what he said, did his protest, and honored his deal. But his power, the stuff that was in his DNA, and he could have, but then he could have just completely walked away. But then that's a whole nother thing. And there are some fates worse than death. In terms of putting that pressure on someone, it may be easy for, like, say, me and you to walk away, or for us to never get in a situation like that, no matter what, or for somebody to walk away. But you can't necessarily put that jacket on another person. You don't know their circumstances. You don't know what they're going through. In terms of just say fuck it, because there are severe consequences that comes with that. So that's why we tell you that it's best to just stay free. And even in my old bloodline, now I know, because I didn't know at the time, but the person that told me that they walked away, that they broke the oath, oh man. And I seen, I'm like, damn, they really did put him through the ringer. Like, that was some crazy ass shit. Like, they literally tried to kill him. But the stuff that's in my bloodline is so much over anything these imitation Kabbalists have. It's going to be hard to, even with some Black Americans, even believe it or not, and y'all may get mad at me, and I do not defend this nigga, and he get what he get. But the situation with P. Diddy, I suspect that that's him walking away from something that they offer, or his refusal to honor something in that contract. And once you refuse, you got to give back the fame and fortune. Any dirt that you have done is coming to the public. Any crime that you have done, anything that you have done, anybody that you have wronged, coming out against you, damage reputation. You're going to go broke generationally. They will target your kids for forever. Like, that's the price of walking away. Or, blood in, blood out, they kill your ass. But now things have changed. It's 2024. There is some legal loopholes with this stuff. And so when it comes to P. Diddy, I suspect, I can't be sure, because he could just be a sacrifice and whatever. But I honestly think that this is a case of somebody maybe walking away, or just quitting the end, just like, fuck it, whatever y'all gonna do it. And he has to take that. It's like taking up a cross. Like, that is the price to walk away. And so you're gonna see many celebrities, believe it or not, fall into that. It's like, be free, give up everything, and actually be free and go back to whatever they believe in, the primordial Godhead, and be free. And but the for the Matrix, they're gonna put out everything you ever did, every crime you ever committed. He wasn't a good person to begin with, so it's not like a lot of people was harmed, and so it's not like a lot of people care, because a lot of people, he screwed over a lot of people. So it's like, you get up to a certain point, you do so many things, and then you realize, okay, I'm not doing that, or I don't want to do this no more. Okay, you don't want to do it no more? Okay, we take back everything. And that's why he's putting the house up for sale, and they're gonna find a way to get at that. Even if somebody do buy that house, they're gonna find a way to get that $70 million out of them. Even if somebody do pay him $70 million. It's like that's why they're coming up with all these different lawsuits, all these things. And again, I'm not defending him. At this point, we on the other side, but at the same time, that was the deal between the primordial Godhead and the fallen watchers that currently govern this planet. And they are part of the treaty. They are done with this dimension. The dimension is being turned over to other higher order beings. But at the same time, their agreement was, there is no blood in, blood out. But, like, yeah, they got, They're gonna ragtag their ass. They're gonna ragtag their ass, and they're gonna take back their fame and fortune. They got to take back their energy, because that's the imitation Kabbalic energy that built them up, that built these celebrities up. And so, okay, you don't want to do what we say. You want to quit. You don't want to. I feel like I'm talking too much. But anyways, they gonna take back everything. Take back. You gotta walk away. You will have nothing. And I've seen that generationally, even in my own bloodline. You will be generationally plummeted into poverty. That's what most Black Americans are dealing with. On top of having ritual bindings on our bloodlines and being a sacrifice, being a black sheep collectively as an ethnicity, there are certain gatekeepers that have sold out other bloodlines within their own family. And there are some Black Americans that walked away. There are some Black Americans that literally, whether that be your grandfather, your mother, your great grandfather, this could have been 200 years ago, especially for some of you of the royal bloodlines, or it could have just been 50 years ago or 20 years ago. And they could have said, you know what, I'm out. I'm done. Fuck it. I'm going to Jesus. Whatever they said they're going to do. They go back to God, Kali, whatever. And they make it very hard. Pretty much that's the white glove treatment. That is the blacklist targeting, target harassment. You'll be gang stalked, all types of shit. And a lot of people say that's because we're end time saints or whatever. But it's much deeper than that. It's frequency based. So it doesn't even matter what religion you practice. If you decide not to go along with this fucking matrix or anything in this system, or take deals or be part of the imitation system, then, you face severe consequences. And one of them, they do make sure that they block you from opportunities. You have to create your own opportunities. But you'll find that if you seek enlightenment, seek ye first ye the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is within. Then all these things should be added into you. If you really understand the true proper forms of modern mentalism, which is what the Nike philosophy teaches, then you will be able to open up that kingdom of God within yourself. That could be through creating your own ideal parallel universe, through having the power to create at will without having to go through any initiations. Even if it's not the power to create at will, you manifest better than anybody else, even better than the imitation Kabbalists. You can do things yourself. They'll come to you. They studying you, trying to figure out what the fuck going on, because you have stuff in your bloodline naturally that transcends theirs naturally. And so they know that about the Black American. They know that about the African. The African, man, y'all really got to stop doing it. I mean, y'all running right over here to go get Grammys and all this stuff. That's like that dude that said, I would trade her love for a Grammy. That's a lyric that he wrote. Do you know how insane that sounds to primordial beings? You would trade love of a female. I mean, we're talking about pure love, true love of a divine feminine, of a woman, for a fake imitation Kabbalist Grammy for the music industry. Are you kidding me? Love. You would trade love, true love, not fake love, not conditional love. We're talking about pure love from the divine feminine. You would trade that for something that's material. That lets you know that your soul is lost. Whoever wrote that, I mean, that shit had, I mean, my mouth dropped like, oh, don't say that. And even if a female had wrote that, I would have the same reaction. If it's true love, like love, if someone is taking the time to really love your funky ass, do good, bad, right or wrong, whatever you do, they there for you. They hold you accountable. They truly love you, real true love. And for the love of a woman, the love of the divine feminine, most women don't know who they are. Most women are completely batshit crazy, to be honest, when it comes to the true understanding their true power. But say you do have a female that's not like on this, this clinginess, this neediness of external energy, and knows how to harness her own energy, but knows how to love in that way. And she meets, and this is a guy, and he says, I would trade your love for a Grammy. You kind of cursed yourself. Like, you better, I don't know. I would go, I mean, that's like honestly saying something like that is like a curse. He won't know that, like, because people don't understand, I don't blame him. But most people, they don't understand these esoteric sciences of the divine feminine and how this whole world is governed occultically behind the divine feminine, but it's the bastardized reverse engineered version. But even if you go to the higher levels, 125th dimension, Saturn, Uranus, Venus, these are energies that understand the proper order of the divine feminine. Chaos intelligence, which is melanin, which is cosmic dark matter. It's all based on the divine feminine of melanated women. And so most women don't accept that. Most women don't know that. Most Black Americans, they don't even know anything what I'm talking about. But it's like, whoa, you would say you would, and then we know how the frequency of love is 600 hertz. You know, you have the frequency of love is 600 hertz, and in the Grammy, you know, whatever that's worth or whatever that's made of, or, you know, what is a Grammy? Is a Grammy even real gold? Let's see what a Grammy is made of. Is Grammy real gold? I'm actually like Googling it. So let's see. It's okay. It's not gold. And I want you to see this for yourself. Grammy Award trophies are made of zinc alloy called gramium that's plated with it's plated with 24 karat gold. The alloy is trademark developed by Billings Artwork, Ridgeway, Colorado. Miniature replicas. Our gramophone, about 9 inches of gramophone. I want to. That's probably Let's actually do some research on gramophones. Gramophones. Let's see. Okay, this is a phonograph. So I want to just see if I pick up any codes real quick. So we got Saturn. Okay, turntable. The turntable is a device for mechanical and analog reproduction of recorded sounds. So we got resonance. We're dealing with frequency. The sound vibration waveforms are recorded as a corresponding physical deviations of a spiral groove. Oh, spiral. There we go. We got the divine feminine. Engraved, etched, and sliced on the present to the surface of a rotating cylinder or disc. Boom, rotating cylinder. That's most likely code for, what's that? Damn, the toroidal field. It could be I'm saying the toroidal field, or when you see the creation of opening a portal from planet Earth to the galaxy, called a record to recreate the sound. Yeah, so this is definitely occultic in nature. I mean, just me reading this, I could break down several codes. We're dealing with Saturn. Look at this turntable right here. That's the rings of Saturn. It's a code for that. We're dealing with vibration waveforms. But again, terminology, did a record changer. I got to do more research on this. Here we got a transducer. Oh, wow. The term phonograph, meaning sound writing, heka, originates from the Greek phone reading. Similarly, the terms gramophone and graph have reeks. Yep. So we voice. We're talking about heka spells. This is high level magic. It's Saturnian magic. This is still not worth love. I can tell you that, because Saturn is just one aspect of the galaxy, and resonance is just one aspect of, or sound rather, frequency, vibration. It's Heka is so they trying to. I'll give you some codes here. They took the Grammy. The Grammy is an idol, and it isn't an idol. It's a graven image. Grammy is a graven image, symbolic of. Again, we have the idea of as above, so below. So it is representative of some very powerful ideas, but it's still a graven image. And a phonograph is not love. It's not the Godhead. And love is a pretty powerful one of the, I mean, if not, second to divinity. I don't even think it's second to divinity. I think it's higher than divinity. I really do. Love is no joke. Real love. And so for anyone to say that they would trade someone's true love for a Grammy, you're out of your cotton picking mind. Because again, you see how I broke down those codes. You can record your own music. You can make your own sounds. You could create your own heka. You could record your own waveforms. So a graven image that's symbolic of that. Yeah. And this is a part of the imitation Kabbalah that we're talking about. Black people naturally have this. You hear Black Americans music. Black Americans create the best music. I don't want to come off like that, but come on. When it comes to anything that has to do with music, the Black American has mastered. Anything that has to do with music, that could be your jazz, your blues, your gospel, R&B, your hip hop. Like Black Americans have that naturally in their epigenetics. Blues, what is it? Do we miss anything? What's another one? Ragtime. Anything that has to do with music, the Black American naturally has that in their epigenetics. Naturally. They need no packs, no deals, no Grammy. They have that naturally. It's God-given. You go to Sun Ra, Clark Sisters, any choir, pretty much any you can find a Black American that can sing just like damn Twinkie just in your freaking church right now. Literally right now. I can sing. Literally, I can sing. when I was a little ass kid, I used to write songs and sing my ass off, and I could actually sing. There's so many Black Americans that you won't come across. They master that music. They either master the instrument. I know people. There's Black Americans that can hear a song one time, go on that damn piano and play that song like that. I witnessed this at church. I witnessed this as a little ass kid. I remember we would do. You know, I remember I told you guys I used to sing in a choir. We had a choir come visit us. I want to say it was Cedar Grove. I want to say was it Cedar Grove? But they came and they didn't have their piano player, but they had music that we had never heard of. And I remember we had a piano player. His name was Larry. He was special needs, actually. It was like visibly you could tell he was special needs, but he was a genius with the piano. And we didn't have, they didn't have their piano player, and we're like, okay, we got a piano player, but he doesn't do sheet music. He's just like boom. And so they gave him the songs and he said, I don't know them songs. I've never heard of them. He sung that song. I mean, they started singing a choir song. They started singing it, and I don't know. I'm telling you, like, it was so amazing. Like, everybody in the church just looked at him because he studied it. He was like doing this thing with it rocking back and forth, trying to feel whatever they were doing and whatever they were singing, trying to get the cadence for it. And he just went on that piano, and it was the most beautiful thing ever. It distracted everybody. Like, even the people that in Cedar Grove was just looking like, how did he do that? Like, it was so, like, people were talking about that after church. Like, how did Larry do that? Like, I mean, we're talking about like beautiful ass play, like, like you just know, and then the choir director was like, yo, when we played the original song, like the piano, like, it sounded like similar, like it wasn't completely the same, but how did he do that? Like, this is just stuff we grew up seeing. Little ass kids can play from scratch. Believe it or not, even when I was a little kid, that piano, a lot of the stuff that comes natural to you. It comes natural. Yes, you could be classically trained and know how to read music and write, and that's a beautiful thing. But let's be real. When it comes to that music, you got that down pat. Can't nobody take that from you. No one can take that gift from you. That has been a gift from God. It just straight up is. Prince playing 22 instruments, self-taught. Ray Charles playing that piano. Michael Jackson doing his music. You ever watch This Is It? And when in that part in the movie, and This Is It, when when the guy was doing doom doom, the way they was playing The Way You Make Me Feel, The Way You Make Me Feel, and he was playing on the piano, and then Michael Jackson could instantly hear when something was off. Like, and the rest of the humans were like, well, we didn't catch it. But he could catch it, like the ear for music, the ear for seeing music. It's like literally music is, for some Black Americans, they could see it in colors. They could see it literally in their mind's eye of what they can transform heck of resonance frequency literally into images. And so that's why you're so advanced in music production and composition and understanding intervals, creating your own intervals, thinking outside the box with music, creating funk, creating hip hop, all these things. That's natural. It's very much natural. And other people can see that. And other people know that. And it's not just with music that we do it, but I know music is that's just a given, because this music is an octave of resonance that is very pleasing to primordial creator Godhead. It just is. It just is. And that is something that's enjoyable to beings itself, whether that be humans, angels, other entities. It's enjoyable to sing and to create music, to bond over music. And so, to see what happened in the music industry is quite daunting. It's like, what the hell? For those that actually awaken to that, there are people that don't. And I have to say, I was completely blindfolded. Like with me, like I have to say, like I've started to see this stuff literally within the last year. I've always known things. I was always in my own world. And to be honest, it took me to literally being 31 years old to really see what the hell stuff was, how this universe is really, how this planet rather is really ran. Is I spent 31 years literally in my own little world on a certain frequency, living my life. And then when people came after me, that's when I realized, like, yo, what the hell's going on here? What toes did I step on? Who did I offend? Like, what the fuck? And then with this MK Ultra shit, this MK Ultra shit is real. And you can break it. You can break your MK Ultra, and again, it's easy to break if it's illegal in terms of like say if your parents put you in it, or if the say you was a ward of the state or a foster care kid, and the government did that put you on it, and the government tried to put that shit on you when you was a little ass kid, and you know that stuff is illegal in the universe's eyes. So like again, if you like I said, you study my gematria, and then what I told y'all about my father walking away from that oath, and you study Jacob, Mary, Joseph, James, Jenny, like all these names that have that derives from a certain meaning, family of Jordans, family of Bernards that go all the way back, like literally connected to certain bloodlines that go all the way back to Sephardic Moorish energy and indigenous, but Moorish Sephardic epigenetics. You can see why being put in it. Like when I told you guys about my story about being in a ward of state. I thought foster care was like amusement park because we were treated so good. But we do notice an obsession with that the government had with us. Like even one of my parents would tell me like it's like they was obsessed with my kids. They wanted like it was going to steal my kids. And Black Americans deal with this stuff. And they don't be knowing why the government be like literally they be wanting that. They want to keep track of that stuff. That's what they do. And I'm not the only person that deals with this, that has dealt with this. I know plenty of Black Americans, or I can just tell from the way they act, first and last name, and things that they say, and then their life experience. I could tell if they was one of them monarch kids, a monarch pedigree, someone that if they were a ward of a state, adopted, or if their parents sold them out. Maybe it was the parent that did it. And I'm only able to see that now. I was not able to see that before. Again, I lived in my own little world. People have came to me. I mean, in 2016, literally a Black woman, right? I was at Georgia State University. Black woman. Her last name literally was a variation of the word Moor, believe it or not. But when she came to me, I said, she was real tall. I said, this is, I just knew instinctively. The first time she walked up to me, we waiting to go into class. Was another class in. You know how you guys got to wait outside of the classroom to wait for the other class to end so that you can go inside. I was waiting there, and this lady, she walked up. She literally she was walking towards me, and I said, "That's a Moor." I just knew instantly. I was like, "That's a Moor." She says, "Hey, what's your name?" I said, Jenny, you know. I mean, she could have been a plant. I don't know, but I just don't know, But she asked her name. She gave me her name. She Black American, just like me. I mean, come from South generationally, but I knew she was a Moor. I knew she wasn't Indian. You see some Black Americans and they Indian or they got mixture. Or you could see certain things in them. No, this lady, no. This was clear as day a Sephardic Moor. Like it was the first thing that my spirit guides, that ancestors, whatever you want to say, first thing that was told to me. Or more. We started talking. We got really, really, really close. We spent like 8 hours talking a day. But yeah, she tried to tell me. She said within once we had left the class, she said, how you gonna get home? At that time, I used to just take I didn't have a car. Still don't have a car. So she said she won't take me home, and so we talked all the way in the car. And then a couple of conversations later, after we continued to get close and go out to eat and whatnot, she said, "Were you ever a ward of the state?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Were you in a foster care program, any chance?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "You're a government. You've been put in an illegal government project. You're in a government project, and you're on a watch list, and the government is watching you." And I said, "What?" In 2016, I was 24 years old. 24, 25. Yeah, I was like 24, 25 years old. So could you, and this lady was 52, I want to say, 53, 54. So could you imagine my reaction to that? A 24-year-old not knowing what the fuck she talking about? Do you know my reaction to that? Like, I thought this lady was fucking crazy. I entertained it though, because I didn't think it sounded too far-fetched. I ain't gonna hold you. It didn't. I didn't think. My first initial reaction was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Oh my gosh! And then a little bit of panic, and then like, "Okay, tell me more." But yeah, she said you were being watched. She said within 5 minutes of talking to you, and she said when I took you home the first time I met you, that conversation, the way you was talking, she said, she said, "No way, no way." She said, "You don't slept through the cracks, and you are being watched." and you are in a government program and you don't know it. And I said, that ain't true. And I'm like, I said, why? And she said, do you hear the way you talk and the things you say and the things you know? And I'm like, no. Because I mean, again, I lived in my own fucking bubble. I lived in my own world. I literally lived in my own world for 31 years and just wasn't paying attention to none of that. And she said, you know, it ain't nothing to be afraid of. If they were going to take you out, they would have took you out. They watching you though. And she said, yeah, it's a government program. She proceeded to tell me how what she went through. How she said the government would show up in black trucks. And this is not the first Black American I heard told me these type of stories. Oh man, I wish I could tell you. It actually happened to someone else in my bloodline too. So I know that she's not lying to me now. Because it happened to, oh good God, I don't even know if I can tell that person's story because they still living. I don't want to offend nobody. Yes, but yeah, I'll tell her. She told me, she said, you know, she was a little ass kid. She said the government would pull up in these black trucks. The mother would, they were kids, like she was like 9 years old, and the mother would dress her up real nice. It was only her, mind you, it was like 10 of them, and she said it was only her. It was nobody. She dress her up real nice, put her nice, get her hair done. And she said they would. It was like she knew it was the government. Like she was, it just wasn't. It was white people that would just show up at her house, and they would take her. And she said they weren't like abusing her. There wasn't no satanic ritual abuse or anything or nothing like that. But she did say that and it wasn't really memorable what she said. But she just said they would take her to like some program. Like it was like a program like that she was in. But she was very much aware. She said it was the government. That's what she told me. She said it was the government. And I said, okay. But the thing is, I've heard other Black Americans tell me these stories. Mm-hmm. Sure I have, even in my own bloodline of getting them like the parents getting their kids ready to, you know, getting them dressed up, and they don't even, the kid. The thing is, she didn't say anything that was memorable though, like, or she didn't tell me. Maybe she just didn't tell. I'm thinking like, you know, because I got a big mouth, so maybe she just was like, well, I ain't gonna tell her all of this. But you know, they used to come and pick me. She said that's how I know. She said I can tell, and I was started telling her my stories of how they would on a weekly basis. They was taking us out to eat, taking us to the mall, taking us to all types of stuff. So I say this to say that this shit is real. You know, they'll see that stuff on their bloodline, and they will track it. So then after that, now here things get real creepy, and I may lose you guys. She comes, you know, with a book in her hand. Because we were always hanging out. Like we were in a master's program, so we would always hang out a lot. And she had this book in her hand. One of the books was a conjure, another book was like a Hebrew book. We in the car, we drive, and she pulls out her phone. She's like, I'm going to show you some things. And man, it's going to get real. I'm looking like, okay, what's she trying to show me? Mind you, I'm a 24, 25-year-old is, to be honest, is still kind of dumb in terms of life experience, in terms of knowledge and stuff. And so honestly, I was thinking about Chardonnay. I was thinking about Cabernet Sauvignon, going to get steaks and shopping. I wasn't thinking about none of that. Like I'm looking like, what is she trying to? Because she was also like some serious. She was, you know, she was cool. She used to go out to eat and stuff and drink. But that was where my mind was at, and she was literally trying to wake some shit up, and my mind was just not even there to receive that knowledge at that time. But she showed up, pulled up that phone, and started pulling up some shit about different entities on planet Earth, the mantis, the Octarians. I'm gonna go there, but she was really trying to tell me she's from the mantis. You know, she was telling me about the mantis. Mind you, I don't know what mantis. I still really don't know what mantis. I know it's a species on this planet, and I know that they come in human form. And I do know they're, you know, we're not gonna go that deep here because I know we may not be ready for that. You know, what I mean, I wasn't ready for it at 25 years old, and I remember thinking like, what the hell is that? She was showing me, and the look on her face was like, she's not ready yet. Like, actually, she said that it's not that. She looked kind of panicked. Like, I'm showing her too much because I did say, I said I believe it's real, and I said I believe it's real. I just honestly don't care to think about that right now. I said I believe that stuff is true. I just don't, you know, and I'm not thinking about that. And she looked so sad and crushed, and she said, she's not ready yet. She's not ready yet. She's not ready yet. But it was like a panic. Like, she's not ready yet. And I was just like, what the hell? I don't know what that was about. And I said, well, you know, I'm ready to go to, you know, we was going to Atlantic Mall or Atlantic Station. It was Atlantic Station. I said, you ready to go to Atlantic Station, go shopping? You know, What was it? One of them restaurants over there we used to go. It was a real nice restaurant with some good ass food. That's what I was thinking about. But people have been trying to awaken me this whole time. So then, no lie, and some family members come out. This is really interesting. This is how epigenetics. We know epigenetics and spirituality is real. I had a family member come out to the graduation because at this time we were graduating. I introduced the family member to the lady that I had been spending time with, in the master's program. And no lie, my family member says, first thing she says, "Wow, we have a Royal Moor. Finally, we found the Royal Moor." Literally, that was the first thing out of this lady, out of my family member's mouth. And I never told anything about this lady to her. I never said, "Oh, she's a Moor. She's a Moor. She's a Moor." I never said none of that. She literally said, "Finally, we have a Royal Moor." I'm like, okay. And they hit it off. It was a little bit of different energy in the epigenetics. Like, we weren't totally connected in terms of the Sephardic Moorish energy because I have a lot of indigenous blood too. And mine is more Sephardic. Hers was not. It was just a different. Like, I could feel like we were connected epigenetically in terms of being Black Americans, but I could tell we had different things in our bloodline for sure. But for my family member that never met her, was from a different state and everything. Literally, we finally found the Royal Moor. and then the girl started to laugh. And the thing is, she was a natural craftsman. Like, this lady knew how to build furniture with her motherfucking hands. No training, mind you. Not an architect. But I've literally watched her make bed frames, chairs, beautiful, royal looking chairs, royal looking bed frames. I wish I could show you the pictures. Like, this shit looked like stuff like she could legally, she was making it handmade. So she was like selling this stuff for like $3,000 bed frames, $2,000 chairs. It was handmade, own materials. Knowing how to fix sinks, knowing how to lay them towels on the floor. She was doing all of that. I've witnessed it. It's not like I'm just making. I've witnessed her. I've seen. She had her own little store. She with her handcrafted furniture that she was making inside of her own damn house. Naturally, no training whatsoever. Not a lick of architect school, woodwork, carpentry, none of that. She was a natural carpenter naturally, just like through her blood. It was like in her bloodline. And that was one other thing that my family member picked up. She said, "This lady knows that she's a natural builder. She knows that naturally she's gifted in that she knows how to naturally makes things." This was literally what my family member just picked up without knowing nothing about this lady. She said, "Oh, this is a Royal Moor. She knows how to make things with her hands, don't she?" I said, "Yep, she make furniture. Nice ass fucking chairs, like fit for a princess or for a queen or so, for a king or something, with the gold." And she was real goldy, but a lot of Black Americans, we like goldy ass shit, But she was doing this stuff with her hands, real mahogany wood and shit, real wood, not that fake shit that you go get at Walmart with them. They had that fake wood out now. We talking about the real shit. And so, epigenetics is real. This shit is real. And when she told me about that mantis stuff, when she started waking it up, and then, I did, once she brought that to my attention, I did start seeing weird shit. As far as like, because she was trying to wake me up. She's like, "You're being watched." That's when I did start to pay attention and start to see surveillance. I realized that, again, naturally, because again, you have your own Kabbalah epigenetics. You have your own mystery essence of God that kind of dictates your fate, which is a whole combination of planetary alignment, numerology, the planets, your ancestors, any pacts or oaths or none, any galactic starseed energies, it gets deep. And it is what it is. I'll say this. At that time, do you know? This is how long I've been on a watch list, or whatever this shit is that I told you guys about, that I'm trying to figure out myself. So if I don't have all of the details, or I can't articulate everything properly, forgive me, because I'm still trying to figure out when was it, when I was 19? Was it when I was 24, 25? What happened, as far as like when it really got reffed up into like the culmination of 2022 to 2023, and what happened, as far as seeing me go off, and say certain things and speak about certain people. But do you know, in 2016, when me and that lady was talking and having our little fun times and whatnot, do you know, and I do have record of this to prove what I'm saying, that I lived in an apartment that was directly across the street from the CDC, Jimmy Carter Center, CDC, literally the CDC, where you see them woods over there where they got the $1 million monkeys. I lived across the street from that. They have $1 million monkey, and I have the proof that I lived across the street from that. And I remember the lady that rented the apartment to me. It was a $500,000 house, but she had like studios, and she rented me one of the studios. As that I was a college student, and she said, this is she said, don't, you got to be careful about this. She was whispering it to me. So this is an old ass lady in her 80s. She said they got $1 million monkeys over on them woods on it behind. You can't go take your ass over there. She said they gotta, and she said, yeah, we all know about it, but we don't talk about it. We don't know what they doing over there, but you know the CDC right there. And I said, oh, okay. Yeah, mind you, I'm literally like driving Miss Daisy, like loosey goosey as a motherfucker. All the signs is right there, and I'm still loosey goosey than a motherfucker. And yeah, but yeah, I promise you, I live right over, and it was just like, so again, this mystery essence of God, you won't know why you end up in certain locations. You guys got to pay attention to the streets and the stuff that you live around too. It's not just happenstance. I promise you, it's not. I could show you my motherfucking ID and my genealogy, and you will know, oh, that's some crazy ass shit. Like I could show you some shit from 1,000 years ago and some stuff that was on my ID, Georgia ID, in 2020s, and you will be like, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying now. This bitch ain't crazy. There's some epigenetic shit going on here. There's some ancestral shit going on here. Time looping, Israel, time looping, all that stuff. You know, then you will see like, okay, I get what you're saying now. But yeah, that's how I feel about like even that whole situation. And then on top of that, this was the CDC. Matter of fact, let me just Google my old address, because it was a Jewish center that I lived right, literally 1 second away from. It was a CDC and a Jewish center in Atlanta. Yep, here we go. I'm about to find this shit. I found it. This was the house I used to live in. I ain't gonna show y'all though, because I don't know if this lady is still there, and I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble or nothing. As far as like, okay, so let's go up here because I want to at least give you the name of the center. Is it this way? Oh, let me go. Because they had offered her millions to tear her shit down, so that they can extend like the parking lot. I think it was the CDC or Emory, one of them. Okay, so here we go. I just want to get this building right that's in front of it. Because I the reason why I know it's a Jewish center, because I went there. Like I visited there. I had an assignment that I had to do for one of my courses. It was literally a Judaism course. It was a course on Judaism, and we were required to go to one of these centers, these Jewish centers and whatnot. And that's I literally I had one right across, like literally 10 seconds away from me. So I walked out my door and went over there and set up something to where I can talk with to complete that school project pretty much. Street view. I'm trying to get to the street view. Oh, they have this on the side. I'm like, I probably, again, because this is right by the CDC, so we probably may have a hard time even finding, here we go, getting the information on here, because it is, I'll show you this. These are the woods that I'm talking about. These are the woods that I'm talking about, that they say that they got the CD. Let me stop sharing it though, because I want to move up. But that's the woods that they got the monkey. And guess what? There are certain parts I actually want to show y'all where I went one day, and motherfuckers in this was, we thought was a fucking woods. You know, Uber driver got lost, trying to see if I could find the direction of where we was at. It was by the woods. We got lost. It's right here. Y'all think this is just do y'all think this is just play? When I keep saying like, and this place like was offered to me without no credit check, like this apartment. That's why I think it might have been like a play, because I'm telling you, like they did no credit check, no nothing. I only had to pay like a $300 security deposit. Like I didn't, like she reduced it right there. It was month to month. It was like the perfect scenario. And so I do think it was a play to get me there. That's just been happening my whole life. I realize that's just to keep track of me, I guess. I'm not sure. But this right here, my Uber driver, we got lost right here, right? We kept going. Oh, you can't even, they won't even let you go. You see how they won't even let you go. But we went right there and we got lost in the woods. And no lie, you will not believe the amount of like, it was like, I don't know if these look like Secret Service agents. I don't know what they were, but they definitely came out and said, we got to turn the fuck around. And you can see I'm trying to go and turn this corner. I'm pressing the button. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I'm pressing this button to try, you know how you do Google and you can go, I cannot turn this corner. Oh, here we go. Nope. Nope. See, I'm trying to turn it. Let's go back up. Okay. So you know that arrow's supposed to go. Trying to go to this, turn this corner so I can show you what my Uber driver we got lost, and they won't even let you go. And I'm telling you, when I was trying to go right here, we got stopped and was told immediately to turn around. My Secret Service, and they popped out of nowhere. They looked like they came out the motherfucking woods. He said, "What?" And she said, "I got lost." She said, "I'm lost." And they said, "Look, they didn't give us no problem. They didn't have no attitudes or nothing, but we were scared because they came out of nowhere and they had them things in their ear, just like how you see Secret Service. You guys know. Let me show you if I can show you a picture of what I'm talking about, so you can see. Okay, I just want y'all to see how this is how the shades and all, but these were males. This right here, but they had earpiece. They had this thing in their ear. They came out just like this. Yep, with the thing in their ear, with that truck, with that black truck, and it came out of the woods. Y'all can think I'm playing. Y'all go over there for test it. If y'all, it's okay. If Kylie's lying, she's lying. Go test. Go drive your motherfucking ass over there then, right now. Go do it. Go do it. And then watch they turn your motherfucking ass around. Yep, that's that thing in that ear. That's what they came out and they said, "Where'd y'all do it?" We said we got lost, and they told us. And she said, "I'm trying to get." They said turn around. They gave us the directions, but they would not let us go through there. Not whatsoever. None whatsoever. Nope. And so this is some deep stuff. And so I'm talking about this epigenetics. To pay attention to where you live. It's not just a coincidence. It's not just some. Look at your ID and then do your genealogy and look at your last names, like I've been saying for these last couple of years. But I'm trying to get y'all. I just want y'all to see how close I was to the CDC. Okay, here goes CDC right here. Boom. That's the CDC. Yeah, I lived on that street. That's the CDC right here. I mean, you guys do know that. And I lived like a 2 minute, and this is the Jewish Center right here. And this is where that lady revealed to me that I was on a government watch. That's when Miss, I don't want to say her name, but that's when she said, and I'm pretty sure she paid attention because she was in her 50s. So I'm pretty sure she saw this shit and was like, this girl don't even know. And that's what she tried to tell me. I walked past this building so many times, it's not even funny. I didn't even think anything of it. I really didn't even. You see all these wires too? I didn't think none of that shit. And this center right here, this is the Jimmy Carter Center, but there's also, it's like, this is like they have a mosque. They not a mosque. They definitely have a Jewish center that's connected to that. Let me see. Jewish Center near. And then that way y'all can see if I showed y'all that location I was at where my ID, that was on my ID, and I break down that information about them Sephardic Moors and how they binded them in that Westminster Abbey Palace with that book and them names in that book and in my genealogy tree and in my ID, that's when y'all be like, okay. We're talking about going 1,000 years back. Gatewood, and this is in Georgia. So that lady saying that, and that's why, again, Black Americans, you have your own. I'm gonna make sure, is this it? No, the one that's on, it says Decatur. You have your own Kabbalic inner epigenetics. Just trying to get the name of that center. Emory, I know it's connected to Emory University and a Jimmy Carter Center. And Jimmy Carter maybe it's not the Jimmy. You know what? Jimmy Carter visited that center when I was there. Jimmy Carter visited that center. And I remember he was there, and I remember walking over there, and there was so many black trucks. I mean, it was so much surveillance over there. It was not even funny. It was so many surveillance agents around even my house. I think, at that time I was so freaked out. I was taking pictures and everything because I was like, and that's when I called that lady in the panic. And they're trying to kill me. I called her in the panic because I saw all of that. It freaked me out. Like it really freaked me out. It's called the Shabbat at Emory. Is that what is it? Shabbat? What is that? What is the Shabbat? Man, I know that center is right there. Anyways, it's not important, but I just want you guys to know, you got your own essence mystery of God playing out or all around you. That means your environment, your location, your genealogy, your natal chart, your numerology, your birth date, your gifts, your blessings, your the things that's in your bloodline and whatnot. And so, you know, you don't have to the situations like with what occurs with baby girl with her. I mean, it's just disgraceful in the creator God's eyes that stuff like this is happening to black women's and black men as far as these sacrifices of black Americans. Like it's kind of like it's so disgraceful. It's like what the hell? And then to know that our people are participating in these things for money and fame, it's disgraceful in God's eyes. And you could look at God. God is a woman to me, however you want to see it, And it's not no blame on the woman or the people. Information gets, people don't know any better. You don't know any better, right? Circumstances, environment. So it's not me judging the humans. I'm talking about this, the way the system is set up, and it's way deeper than blaming fucking humans, right? So it's way deeper than that. And look at this. This is very important because he was trying to warn her. Pay attention to this part. He was trying to warn her. And there's people who had tried to warn me about the shit that was going on with me too. We had Des try to warn me in 2016. She's like, the government watching you. You're a part of a government, a government program, and you don't know about it. And they put you in a government program and you're in foster care. And I thought she was crazy. But then other people had been trying to warn me too about stuff that was happening around me. Other people, try to tip you off. But watch this. Look at this. I had a sad dream. I want you to be okay. What's wrong? I don't know. Worry about you. It makes me sad. He didn't know she was going to be a sacrifice. He was going to kill her. Why? I'm going to get cute and do my Triller today. I quit doing drugs. Sober chant. June 16th, pool party. See? I'm trying to warn you. I had a sad dream. I want you to be okay. What's wrong? I don't know. I worry about you. It makes me sad. You should have told her. June 16th, pool party. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because this is May 29th, 9/08. Then May 29th, 11, and June 16th, pool party. Did she die? When did she die? Around June 16th. Well, June 16th, pool party, pool. Water. That's a cold. That's a cold. Let's look at the etymology of pool. He was trying to tell her. Pool. West Germanic origin related to Dutch pool German. I just want to see what this is. Hen, the pool is a collected prize. Whoa. Yep. Is the collected prize. Yep. You see that? Pool party, collected prize. Sacrifice, you get a reward. You can get the person to overdose on drugs or dead. Pool party. They were celebrating her death. They get a reward, a cash out. I knew it was something. I knew that was a code. And then chicken, you could also look at it as poulet. That's also a code too. Yeah. But it's an artificial reservoir for water. But then we have collected prize. Artificial is right in front of you. I know y'all have to see that. June 16th. We got 6. We're dealing with 6, 7, 6, 7, 6 plus 7. That's 13. Ooh, right there. 13 pool party. Boom. Right there. And anybody that want to play and say act like we conspiracy theorists and we crazy, you're either a handler or a person that's a part of this and trying to cover up and keep it a secret, or you're just fucking stupid. It's right there. I had a sad dream. I want you to be okay. What's wrong? I don't know. I worry about you. It makes me sad. They knew it was gonna kill her. Why am I gonna get cute and do my Triller today? I quit doing drugs, sober chat. Just clueless as a motherfucker, just like how I was. Clueless as a motherfucker. Don't know what the fuck going on around you. Satanists, occultists, all set up all around you. Masons all around you, ready to eat off your ass, and you don't even see it. Just like how it was happening to me, and I couldn't see it. June 16th, pool party. Pool, collected prize party, June 13th. 13. But where? It probably, Now she died around June 10th, June 11th, June 16th. That's that. They most likely had a motherfucking party, pool party. They already knew collected prize party. Collected prize. With the artificial reservoir of water, the sacrifice of the divine feminine. 13 relates to the divine feminine. It's a very powerful number for females. But they make it taboo in the occult because they reverse engineer it. So the fallen watchers, the 13 is it gets degraded. Humanity. That's why they say 13 is not a lucky number. 13 is they don't have hotels with a 13th floor, but I can tell you right now, 13 is one of the most powerful numbers. in our dimension. But again, humans have bastardized information, and so it's clear as day in front of you that this is a sacrifice. It's literally clear in front. I showed you the Eiffel Tower. I showed you the Shiva. I showed you the tattoo of the pyramid on her. The text messages from the mom. Him saying, I mean, come on, it's right in front of you. Look at this. Look at this. That's because she has to do a certain amount, or she will feel like that. Oh, hold up, hold up.
That's because she has to do a certain amount, or she will feel like that when it's time for her to get back up. When she do, just give her all that. So clearly, and it looks like he might have deleted a couple messages in between that.
So that's because she has to do a certain amount, and she would feel like that when it's time for her to get back up. When she do give her all of that. So I mean, they purposely killed this woman. I'm here. Are you close? Call me. I was at the house waiting on sis. What's the word? She hasn't been breathing.
Things further come out about how she
I'm
actually
telling you that
died.
this is what they was trying to do to me. I could feel this shit, man. Man, I feel bad for people that thank God people woke me up. And God, people was not giving up on me up until my last month. People was just trying to send code, send code, send code over and over again until I could finally get it. Everybody around me. And we talk about sacrifice, that shit is real. People, and it's not just the music industry that do this shit.
You know, whether this was withdrawals or she was, an actual OD off of taking something again. A lot of people been saying laced with fentanyl. She's
Ooh, that fentanyl. And you know what? I told you that story on my Twitter space. I told y'all about what happened 2 days after I spoke out about MK Ultra on August of 2022, and what happened at that hospital and everything that happened in that restricted area, access area. But one of the things when I was unconscious, I did hear them mentioning them doctors. It was like 50 of them talking about fentanyl. I heard that, and that's why I don't anybody that want to say, oh, you just making this up. I demand that Grady Hospital release that footage to whoever. If we need to ever do a discovery or ever to go to court over this, that's the first thing I'm demanding. Every untampered call from the NSA, showing the phone records of every conversation to prove what I'm saying. Like as far as this plausible deniability shit that they can get away with, they lost that. It's whoever's trying to cover for these people. As far as the NSA, I want every untampered phone call from August 2022 to 2023 of August of 2023, and I want all the video footage from my stay at Grady Hospital and Summit Ridge. And I know for a fact that there was a hell of illegal things done and said, and I'm pretty sure they will purposely delete the footage, even though they have record of me being at that house. They probably deleted all of the footage because I did hear them saying fentanyl. And I was even when I went to go explain this to certain people, I was told to never ever speak out about it, or else they're gonna come after me. Shit, but the thing is, I didn't speak out about it, and guess what? They still came after me. So that's why I'm like, well, I might as well speak out about it because I didn't speak out about it, and the motherfucker still came after my motherfucking ass. So it doesn't even matter. A year later, they tried to do another sacrifice again, and so that's why I'm like, I don't even give a fuck because I had kept my mouth shut, kept keeping my mouth shut, and people still kept fucking with me or doing sure shit. And so that's why I just say whatever it is, what it is. And they gonna do something, and World War IV starts, and we all in the spiritual world, we get busy. It gets real. It is what it is. But look at this. Call me. I was at the house waiting on sis. What's the word? She hasn't been breathing. So this is what this is. I know I could recognize this now because of what shit that I know behind the scenes that even happened with my own ass that I tried speaking out on, and people wanted to line me up, and so this shit is real. This shit looks demonic because it is demonic because it's low governing force, and it's negative energy around it. This lady was beautiful. They wanted to extract the divine feminine through forced prostitution and drugging her. MK Ultra, it's real. And so people that want to get in that industry, you think twice because that system is already fallen. It's already on its last leg, and so you'll be a damn fool to sell your star inertia for any type of contract or deal with these people. You'll be a fucking fool. There's no materialistic item that can give you your self worth or give you any sense of value. And I promise your own epigenetic, Kabbalic epigenetic, or your own mystery and essence of God already on you is more powerful than anything they can offer you. Even if that means you won't have as much wealth or all this money or a designer bag, or even if you don't have that. But if you seek ye the first of the kingdom of God, I bet you can get it. You'll be able to get it. You'll find a way to get it. Look at the situation with Bobby Shmurda. Bobby Shmurda was making 40,000 a month off of that little crazy ass song "Hot Nigga." All independent, all alone. People warn him in the industry to not sign to Epic. Black men warned him, don't do it, don't do it. Stay independent, stay independent, stay independent. Oh, y'all hating? They giving me a $2 million deal, Epic Records. He signs over his whole fucking publishing to Epic Records. Fake Kabbalists. Got him real good. Fucked him up. Mother was in on it. He don't want to do whatever they ask him to do. They play him. They get him caught. He spoke out on Twitter. He got in trouble. That was deleted. The mother came trying to cover up for him. Next thing you know, the nigga's in jail for 8 years, in prison for 8 years. And lost steam and momentum. But that Hot Nigga song is Epic still ate off of that while he was in prison. And remember after he signed to Epic, he kept saying, "I'm not making no money off of. Where's my money at? I'm doing tours. I'm working so hard, but I'm not making any money." Sucker Tucker, you fucked up. Instead of just doing that, getting that 40. I mean, he was literally getting. And he said it. He's. I was getting 40 grand independent, all on my own, from doing every month, from doing this, performing the song at different clubs and different promotions. Sometimes it was 8 grand. I mean, 8 grand for the 20-something-year-old kid that don't know shit. That's independent, own 100% of that little Hot Nigga song. And you go and gave that publishing up. It happens all the time. People think that the grass is. People think that white ice is colder. And they fucked up. They getting fucked up deals. And they buying themselves to entities through imitation Kabbalah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think this shit is funny and think it's cute, and it's just like this right here. We about to look at this situation with Fulvio. Now his is a fucked up more situation because this is heavy Satanism, and we're not going into this because voodoo is obviously not Satanism at all, and I don't want to offend anyone by saying that because those are 2 different pantheons. Very, very, very. I'm going to be very clear on that. I'm talking about what happened to him in terms of the energy around it. Now, how do I explain this? Some people are so far deep into the other side and so far gone that they produce homunculus humans for the system. They're homunculus humans that literally have they're literally byproducts of the system, NPCs. They don't have any inner monologue. That's what I'll say. I'm speaking in code, and you do have to be advanced to understand what I'm saying here. Is I'm not going to explain it all. But I do want to make it very clear: voodoo and Satanism are not the same thing, and voodoo is completely different. But there are elements of this idea of pacts and contracts or working with certain entities. Necromancy. I mean, I don't know what he was particularly doing, but I do know he was sleeping graveyard. He said he was sleeping graveyards, and so he was into necromancy. I mean, that's necromancy. He was sleeping in graveyards and for a certain amount of time. Cemeteries are not inherently bad, but when you look at this kid, this was somebody that was born literally for that system. And I know that's hard to fathom and believe, but you can look at the eyes, and I don't, I'm not saying I'm sad for what happened. It's unfortunate that this stuff is happening. But they call him the Demon of Jacksonville. Just look at this, Demon of Jacksonville. This is 7 months ago. So he had been doing voodoo on people. He probably is not. This is a kid that's not even mature enough to handle the totality of what voodoo is. Voodoo is a very sacred science that you have that again, once again, comes from the divine feminine, female created, but also. This stuff should not, a kid, 20, I would say anybody under 40 years old, under 45 probably shouldn't even really be messing with the laws of that pantheon or even that science, that knowledge. If you're talking about dealing with the archetypes of high level conscious, you have to have complete control of the faculties of your mind when dealing with voodoo. You can literally go crazy dealing with some of that stuff. And then using it without purity, I mean, what do you expect? Something to happen. Them spirits themselves will fuck your ass up for messing with them and doing. Oh, I mean, man. He said he would do a voodoo on somebody else, or because you're mad at them, or because they got part of a gang, or they got beef with them. Oh, let me do a voodoo ritual, like shit like that. Like that's not even mature. Like this is what people do in that industry. We're talking about low level, very very low level shit that people will engage in. you get a rival with a gang or whatever, you don't like the person or you're jealous of the person, and then you're gonna go and do a ritual to conjure up some demon to go mess that other person up. And then what you put out, you get back, because it's the law of cause and effect, and output input. So you put out what you put that out, you're gonna get that back. And if that person is really protected, or you don't know what that person is in their bloodline or what they working with, then that shit can really, really cause so much damage. And so you have a kid that's openly talking about how he does voodoo on people, that goes to his, after the person he kills, he goes to their grave and do voodoo rituals. You asking for death. You are literally, and that's why I said, like, looking at his eyes and stuff. This is somebody that was born for that side, like literally just entities on there. They literally an entity. Like we talk about monarch chimeras or um, chimeras itself. They have, you got monarch chimeras of heaven and you got monarch chimeras of hell. It just is what it is. You have monarch chimeras of, I'll say it in a more advanced terms for those who are advanced. You have monarch chimeras from a level of high governing force, and you have monarch chimeras from the low governing force, which is a different density. And so, yeah, this boy was literally that's just all it's unfortunate, and you can always get out of it. Like, say, if he had awareness or someone to help him out, and he can obviously get those entities off of him. But he was born for that. That's why they call him the demon of Jacksonville. He was always talking about the hoodoo, and the voodoo, because his grandma practiced it. Because just because his grandma did it, don't mean you are sanctioned to do that. And that's what that's what a lot of men got to understand. Those are again, they don't want to admit the power that they don't want to admit their own history. Black people don't want to admit their own history, and that's where they at. But I'll tell you this: just because your grandma practiced it, that did not give you the clearance or the sanction for you to practice it, Julio. Fully, like it literally, his grandma may have been practicing voodoo. It may be in a bloodline, but a lot of that stuff is relegated for Black women to practice, and the men can't replicate those results. The boys can't do that, especially not no young boy like this. And so it's either a case of that, and for what I'm seeing, this person was literally just cannon fodder and just an NPC. With you got flesh and look like human, but it's a whole entity inside. And just like how heaven got theirs, hell got theirs too. And a lot of humans, you guys, you're very judgmental and stuff. And I'm not judging this boy because we don't know, but we don't know his story. But at the same time, it's unfortunate because what you put out, you're going to get back. And I can tell this man is not even remotely mature enough to be practicing no damn voodoo, to even know what none of this stuff is. This stuff is like, you guys get mad and you say, okay, God wanted to keep the knowledge from you guys, and you had to go and Lucifer wanted to give you enlightenment. That's not the whole story. That's not even the case. You couldn't even handle that. How do you want, if a fallen angel can't even fuck with a primordial entity, what will make you think that a human can handle that? It's ridiculous. You guys are absolutely ridiculous. And so, yeah, you have situations like this, young boys that are messing with powerful information that should be gatekept by the women of those villages, and even some of those women, even some Black women, are not even mature enough to deal with that stuff. You want to get into, man, I'll do a video on how, oh man, that's so deep. Oh man, that's so deep. I don't even want to go there. Yeah, but yeah, even some women are not even mature enough to handle any of that, most of this information, let alone some boy that's in his 20s. It wasn't even his 20s. How old was Julio Folio? And a lot of people are happy that he's gone. I don't know what he was all doing. I had no idea what this boy was doing. But yeah, this is an NPC. Like, this is somebody with no inner monologue. And I'm not saying that in a judgmental way, because again, Shamira monarchs, even from the other side, you don't know what God got planned, especially if it's illegal. If it's illegal, oh, God will step in on that. Just like how God stepped in with my case, with my situation. God will step in. So that's why you don't want to judge like someone that is born into this stuff. It's people that are born into satanic families. It's people that are born into occult families set up for sacrifice. All types of like Kanika Jenkins or like the situation with Enchanting. Like you can't necessarily, you don't know their story to just be like, oh my gosh, you was dealing with all this stuff. You were in the occult. You were doing this shit. This stuff is in epigenetics. But this boy right here, this is even different from the Enchanting situation. This is different energy that I'm picking up. Look at this photo. Look at this photo. That is someone with this is someone gone. Nobody's home. Gone. Gone. Y'all can't see that spiritually? Gone. Rest in peace, brother. You know, but it's like, damn. And all this, these symbols that they do, these are stolen. This is stolen information. This is stolen knowledge. He's not at fault, but I'm just talking about the people that's teaching this stuff. And the vibration is so low. Look at that. Look at the hair. Look at the eyes. Gone. Don't know nothing about himself, but then, you know, it just is what it, man. It's just unfortunate. It happens. We can't make other people problems our problems. We can only wish them the best. But see, Charles Andrew Jones the third. I'm sorry, the second. Look at Andrew Charles Jones. Look at that. He had too many people at the Airbnb. Oh yeah, he was set up where he was hosted. Just like that King Von. Oh, that was a hit. I mean, come on, that was so obvious. Like, man, these motherfuckers do that black magic on your ass, boy. Yeah, look at this. I could read this. I can literally see. Y'all see how fast I looked at that situation about that phonograph and just picked up code after code after code. I can look at this and tell clear as day that this is this was a hit. There was a sacrifice for the industry as well. But you know, this is what this was. He was born to be a sacrifice. Pretty much is what I'm saying. I could look at this. This right here tells you. Look at the codes. I'm not breaking them down because I don't like to tell people all that I know or how I know it rather. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, he started to get it noticed with dirty sticks and ranked. He often rapped about friends who were murdered 15 before he was 20, according to his Spotify bio, and talked about music as therapy. I love music. Oh, so he was traumatized too. But it was feud between him and Younger Ace in his songs mocking fallen rivals that brought him national attention. 1.1 million followers on Instagram and over 1 million monthly listeners. So he was doing, you know, doing these rituals probably to get, you know, I think it's doing rituals for followers and fame and fortune instead of our people getting ourselves out of our situation, man. And that's why I said they using that voodoo. You know, and the entities themselves don't like that shit. It's like the entities of the Hindu pantheon. I'm telling you, it's a lot of shit gonna pop off on this planet, in regards to this stuff. Because this. I mean, we're talking about like anger, or not even anger, but like correction time now by Saturn, divine feminine, the Godhead, the entities themselves, like correction now. That's pretty much where we're at. We're talking about people who, you know, it is what it is. I'm deeply saddened to hear about. I was fortunate enough to. So he might have been in a gang war. They're saying. Zion Malik Brown. Look at this name right here. That's a powerful name. Zion Malik Brown. Look at this. Black Americans not knowing who they are once again. DeAndre, Jacques Thomas. Look at these names. The last names are so important, guys. Jones made several posts on social media, glorifying the killings and showing off a mocking T-shirt with a photo of one of the slain teens, saying, "I'm getting a new T-shirt made from my." See that kind of disrespectful ass shit. What did you expect? I'm telling you, some people are just literally born as cannon fodder for the system. Literally, you know. And so he's definitely one of those cases. Now I want to show you a code by.
You say these names on the interview.
I'll show you that, and then we'll end this video because this is a long ass video. I didn't think it would be this long. Let's see. Hey, Ultra Instinct. Hey, Ultra. Hey, guys. I know I was talking so much, but yeah. But let me show y'all this, and then we'll end this video because I'm getting tired, and this was pretty long. Okay, so let's look at this.
Nigga, I was like, yeah. He was like,
I want to show.
like, nigga, everybody knows I'm married to Will Smith.
That's not the code, clearly. I'm trying.
Everybody knows that.
When you say these names on the interview, do people call you after the interview? Be like, bro, did you just say that?
I had a guy walk up to me in the parking lot of
Like, I mean, actual
Target.
celebrities.
Target, and he asked, no, celebrities? No,
Yeah.
no. Celebrities don't. They're not celebrities.
This is where the code start. They're not celebrities. And look how serious his face get. And watch this part.
Well,
They can't call themselves celebrities.
Do you see the look at his face? And you think that he like to play crazy cray, but look at that look. They can't call themselves celebrities. So what is the etymology of celebrities? Someone with honor. Celebrities means someone with honor. Just so you guys know that. So he said they can't call themselves someone with honor. That's the code right there. But it's more. Watch this.
They gave that up.
They gave that up. They gave up their honor. They gave up their star inertia.
The Rock is not a celebrity. Dwayne Johnson.
Who's
Now watch this.
Satan?
Who's Satan? Now watch this.
That's my friend. He's fine. He's the one bagging all the fucking skin, I guess.
Bagging all the fucking skin. He's the one bagging all the skin, I guess. Dwayne Johnson, who's Satan, he's the one bagging all the skins. As far this is I don't even know if I should be going this deep. I'll say this: when we talk about bagging skins, we're talking about body snatching. Bagging all the skins is code for body snatching. We all know if you were to give your star inertia out, when the time comes, you got to pay up, or even your vessel, even in flesh, is used. When we talk about Satan, damn, I don't know if I should get into that. It's a program. I want to go into this network program because it's literally it's a program. It's like an AI program, and you guys have to know like certain. Here we go. Security administration tool for analyzing networks. Yeah. This Department of Computer Science, Electrical Engineering. Yeah. So I'm gonna actually I'm trying to make things clear, but I even have to kind of speak in code too. But yeah, when we talk about like he's the one bagging all the skins. The celebrities are without honor, bagging all the skins. So celebrities become they body snatched pretty much by Satan. I mean, that's the code, but we're not talking about the way that you're probably thinking. We're talking about advanced. It's like being bonded to like an advanced form of AI. And I have seen this in other people. It's like I've seen this in other people, so I know what he's saying, and I know he has seen it. I know most humans cannot see it, and so most humans won't understand what he's talking about. As far as like the body snatching of a certain entity that can literally like jump from one person to another, and they say the same thing and act the same in the same spirit and the same energy. That's pretty much what he's talking about. Bagging all the skins, bagging all of the humans, the meat suits of the skins of the celebrities. They don't know that. They won't admit that. MK Ultra is real. That's pretty much what this is. But it's a network. It's a way to network. It's fake. It's not. It's like a homunculus energy. It's not a real energy like the Holy Spirit. It's a different energy. It's a very much brainwashing energy. And it's like it's the energy behind NASA. That's the energy behind this. It's or the energy, but think of the energy of Neuralink, where you can. It's like a network, and it's that it's an entity that's jumping through the network on the celebrities, and it's pretty much the same. It's the same entity. It's the same thing. They're hijacked. You give up your honor. You give up star inertia, and something else body snatches you. So, take bag your skin. Something else bags your skin. I've seen this in people. I've seen it just in technology, the way technology work. I've seen it. I know that even with the AI, these chats and all that stuff, it's real deep. It's hard to explain. It's not even worth explaining to humans. It's just not. It's just not worth explaining to humans. Not. I mean, I pray that you guys eventually understand like what we're saying and what we're trying to let you guys know. But at the same time, a lot of this stuff it just flies over people's heads. Like I don't even know how he say stuff. And this is another thing I know Real Life Productions had asked him, was he speaking in code? Do we speak in code? And he said, no, I don't speak in code. Ain't nothing about speaking in code about, what they doing with the, with the Muslims and the 14-year-old girls. He's supposed to do that. Y'all not supposed to ask him that question. Y'all supposed to go and seek out the people that can break down his codes, but don't ask him that because he's good. He has to play dumb. Don't put him on a spot like that. And this is no dig at Real Life Productions. I love Real Life Productions, so I want to make that clear. But yeah, don't ask him about codes or nothing because he's supposed to play crazy and y'all supposed to think he crazy as cat shit, and he give out some things that y'all like to hear him say. It's shocking, provocative, and he's supposed to he answered that question absolutely correctly. No, I'm talking code. What the fuck y'all talking about? You're making crazy face. What code? What you talking about? That's exactly what he's supposed to damn do. You understand? And so what y'all supposed to do is y'all supposed to be quiet too, and then go seek out the people that know how to break down them codes and just listen and see what y'all and get the tea, But he is not. And even if with me, I'm just we all playing a role here because the world's a stage, right? And so we all playing a role, and even with me, I'm playing a role, and so even though I can break down these codes, some of the codes, and there are other people that break it down way better than me. There are people that literally study this from a psychological point of view. They understand the his MK Ultra and all this, the way his programming is. They understand how to deconstruct things way better than I can. And so, I'm playing a role of breaking down the codes. The people that want to hear them, they call us conspiracy theorists, or we thinking too much. I'm the person that just thinks too much. Oh, you're thinking too much. You're thinking too much. Thinking too deeply. And that's the role that I play. Primordial entity, thinking too much. She's talking about the divine feminine. She's talking about all this. She's playing the role of a scholar. She's playing because we're souls in human flesh. We're spirits on a certain. They decided to manifest in a 3D for whatever reasons. Some of us, for whatever reasons. It's not important to get into that. But yeah, don't ask. Don't ask him, does he speak in code and what's his codes? Because he is not, he is supposed to play, he's playing a role. He's supposed to answer exactly, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just, and because again, he's and the people that get it, if they want to communicate publicly about what they think he's saying or breaking down his codes, you'll get that. But if this for a 10D being or 7D being, or for some people to, he got entities on him that's probably doing a recognizance mission that has to protect him. And so when he go into that little mode, y'all gotta go to the person that can break it down and listen and just see what they're trying to decode, or look at your comment section, because a lot of people be talking about his codes in the comment section or what he's talking about. Let's see. This man is fine. He playing a role. See, didn't I just say that? That man is fine. He playing a role. He know what he doing. Oh yeah. Just the facial expressions alone, the energy from the facial expressions. Now you have some people that's on 2D, 3D. Why they keep interviewing him? He ain't right in the head. That's where he's at, and that's what he wants. The low level people. That's what exactly where he wants you to think. But for those that's of knowledge, they won't get it. But most humans, they're not going to get it. They'll say drugs. Some people will get it. See, dude be confusing me. See, out of all these people, everybody gonna say drugs, and these could be bots, but like most of humanity is screwed. But you'll have one person that'll get it. You'll have very few people that will understand it. But here, some see 8 people like this, so somebody like it. So somebody got it. That man is fine. He playing a role. He know what he doing. Only one person. Only one person had got it. If somebody is trying to, so somebody knows he said, I'm rooting for you, but we want to hear you be straightforward. You have the right to be however you choose, but on a platform such as this, it's really hard to listen to. We want to listen to you. It's too difficult when you choose to laugh and speak in riddles. He is speaking in riddles for sure. His mind is they're not gonna understand. But he's talking about a high level AI program. Whew. I caught it because I saw it. I saw it in people. I see it just through the technology. And Black Balloon, he breaks down how this technology and these entities through the literally. If you ever look at AI and it says inserting entities, look at the terms of service of the on these AI things. It literally tells you inserting entities. With, particularly like if you're making like an AI video or something like that, and you see it rendering and loading, it'll say inserting entities. I mean, come on. Now imagine that on a much this the low level. That's just like your AI softwares and programs. But we're talking about on a much higher level that most humans, even the celebrities themselves, are not even aware of.
Everybody you see, all of a sudden they have a big broad shoulder and a fucking belly, and it's all the same person on.
Woo, it's all the same person. It's hijack consciousness. Hijack consciousness. He's talking about hijack consciousness when celebrities give up their star inertia. You become binded to an entity that takes over your consciousness. It's MK Ultra. Pretty much what he's saying.
Netflix as the star in every movie. It just, dude, nobody wants to watch that shit no more. It's like, dude, can we get a chance? Everybody, can we all get a chance? Can we get a break? Can
we get a break? Mind control. He's the network tool. He's going deep.
I'd be the first person to be like, my nigga, fuck with this shit over here.
See, fuck with this shit over here.
Where's Adam Sandler? Where's fucking? Well, Jig is here, but where, you know what I'm saying? It's certain things that I have a problem with on the level of new talent. Like Tyler Perry is the only person.
New talent. Now watch this. This is key here. New talent. We want to see something different. Tired of that network, the agenda, the sexy res agenda, the same entity that's jumping once the celebrities give up their honor, once the celebrities give over their star inertia, is the same entity that's hijacking every celebrity, and they all do the same. It's the same shit. Now you got some mega superstars that got real talent, right? New talent, real talent. Those are the old celebrities that have been in for 20 plus years. We're talking about this new stuff we haven't been seeing. That's why can we get something new? We have to have all the girls talk about sex and pussy all damn day. All the rap artists, all the black female rap artists talk the same. Literally say the same shit. Nothing new, nothing original. I mean, except for the ones that we about the mainstream ones. We have some Tierra Whack, brilliant genius on the level of Missy Elliott. Don't get no play. You have people that just won't get the play that are amazing. Amaretta the Great. You have that, but then you see what makes it to the mainstream is nothing but ass shaking. Look at the BET Awards that they had, nothing but ass shaking, Sukiana, Sexy Red, all that stupid shit. Same thing over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. We get some new talent.
Actually gives an opportunity to people.
See, now he's saying Tyler Perry gives the opportunity to people in terms of let's hear what else.
What about 50 Cent?
He gives new talent and opportunities to people. So it's not necessarily the opportunity of hijacking your star inertia. It's like most likely a fair opportunity to prove your talent, to show your talent without having to have yourself hijacked, your star inertia hijacked by the Satan programming network. it's deep stuff. I know it flew everybody's head, but I'm just breaking it down what he meant. Now, if you ask, if someone, you ask him, is that the code? He's supposed to say no, and he will say no. And if you ask me, what I would just say, I'm overthinking. That's how this stuff works. Right? We're playing a role here. The world is a stage. Come on. But yeah, let's look at. I just want to look at the comment section of some of the because I want you to see how like some humans get it, and then some are just never going to get it. I just want y'all to see that. We're about to wrap this up. Let's look at the comment section. See, getting closer to God is a powerful tool towards healing. Orlando knows how to say it without saying it. And that's exactly what he'd be saying. He throw them warnings out, like when he said, I was caught in Tao, which is Taoism, screaming at Satan, get behind me, Satan. The devil is nice. And all the Christians, and they didn't even catch none of that. I mean, it was so cold too. It was so smooth and cold. At least somebody got it. Somebody got it. Getting closer to God is a powerful. Orlando knows how to say it without saying it. That's exactly what he's trying to tell people. The truth shall set you free. See, I feel him and understand everything he's talking about. People be so scared when people start speaking on the truth about shit because they so afraid their name is going to come out. So they try to make people think you're crazy. Dude is very much woke. Hell in this dirty little gaslighting ass world we live in. People afraid of the truth until shit happens to them. Then they want to believe you. I'm like in a state of mind right now where I'm telling on everybody but the kitchen sink, and whoever don't like it, see, you got some humans that will get it. Give it help a hand instead of laughing at people. Yep. I'm just looking at this one probably is, I wanted to see a video where people are like trying to like break down some of the things he said. Let's see. Maybe in the one that we talked about before. Maybe we do this one. I can't even remember like some of the things that were said in this one, but I wanted to show you like how that some of the humans, y'all missed the 7-year concept. See people try to break it down in the comment section. Y'all missed the 7-year concept. He said they will give you 7 years to spend the money. That's true. Tupac signed his first deal in 1989. And by 1996 was gone. That's a 7-year span. Shortly after you released the Machiavelli album entitled 7 Day Theory, 7 years after they released the movie Tupac Reservation. This is gematria. Didn't we just tell you about the imitation Kabbalah? I just told you about that. In the entertainment industry, Orlando say a lot of outlandish shit, but it's always some truth sprinkled in there if your eye is open enough to catch it. I never thought about the aspect of the 7 years to spend the money. People mistake his eccentricity for fallacy. I agree with you. See, 7, and number 7 is, if we talk about number 7 is an important number in occult practices and theology. And this kid got a lot of bright light, and that's why you can't. People be born into this stuff, or their parents will sell you out. Your parents sell you out, or your parents will put you in a fucked up contract or something. And that's why people get put through the ringer. And he obviously was molested, as he told us. They don't put entities on, all types of sex magic rituals on this when he was a freaking kid, and put all entities attached to him, MK Ultra them, and then it's not right for people to be judging and looking down and stuff on this man. Or saying he's crazy because he's speaking the truth. This man is far from crazy. PNP Rock died after 7 years. Drake said on his songs, I got 7 years to do what I want. This man isn't lying. And the fact that these people laughing at this man because they can't read between the lines. The team is on a lower vibration in Orlando. Drake is not Tupac. That's cold. See, look at this. I'm so glad that there's some I'm like, because I feel like I'll be on an island of my own. I haven't found my tribe yet in terms of like people who understand this stuff. So I'm so glad to see that there are people that Drake is not Tupac. Remember I said Drake is not that's called difficult to decipher. So many artists are manufactured. You sign with Evo, you get the horns. Everyone gets played, never paid in full. Some convincing acting. What are we playing? Remember what J.N.S said about the Nation of Islam? We don't get straight facts from Orlando like that. Okay. Let's see, was that on his side or is he more wishing all the real ones to be blessed? Because some people may say, he give out some things, but some people may feel maybe he's a controlled opposition. They may feel he's controlled opposition. I don't think so. I think he's careful, and I think he tries to play batshit crazy so that they don't, But it is what it is. Are you AI? Let's see. Trying to see if anybody else. See, this gives me mind control. He's in and out, and certain words trigger or alters. It's like watching Charles Manson. You ever watch a Charles Manson interview? Woo! That's not a government project. I don't know what is. I am in no way saying that in any similar, but says that the way he switches emotions and the way of speaking also could be cold or both. Very fascinating and devastating tragically. It's very fascinating and devastatingly tragic. He definitely has a mind. I mean, this stuff has started when he was 5 years old. People say he's possessed, but I know most humans, they don't understand this stuff. And then the grace, they don't the grace that God has for people that have been unwittingly victims of this stuff. It's very unfortunate, but I don't think obviously there's trauma. Obviously he has trauma. Obviously he's went through things. We all have trauma, right? I have trauma. We all have trauma. So like I don't understand why we're acting like. And to be honest, just there's levels to MK Ultra. So just because you may feel like, oh, you're not under, I can guarantee you that I would say close to a good about 98.9% of the human race is under MK Ultra mind control. I could just do Americans. Close to 98%, 98.5% of Americans are under MK Ultra. It may not be as bad as Orlando Brown, but I can guarantee you. If y'all knew what I could see in my head and the devastation that a lot of us, a lot of the entities have of what's happened on this planet with the human race. Whew. And sometimes it get frustrating. Sometimes we lash out at you guys, but I'm telling you, like, man, if y'all could see, man, I try to share resources. I try to wake things up as much as possible. And it's quite alarming. So I know you guys may want to wag your finger and, oh, he's possessed. Oh, look what happened to him. Oh, he's tragic. He has trauma. Oh, how many of you niggas in the hood got trauma? I'm telling you, most humans in America, most of you guys are under MK Ultra. There may be different forms of it. Some is worse than others. Some are for different reasons, for different purposes. But yeah, you got to free your mind. Y'all want to watch a cool show? And they get canceled, and there are some problematic things in the show. It's a show on Netflix called Eden. It shows you about mind control brain. Watch the show Eden. Now they do get a little too carried away with the sex. I ain't gonna hold you. Like if you like sex scenes, then you definitely love that show. But I ain't like to see all that sex. Every damn episode they got like 3 sex scenes, and they canceled the show. And then they had a lot of gay stuff in it, but as far as the concepts, the high level concepts, that's why they canceled it. They canceled that shit because they said, oh, hell no. Whoever was writing and producing it, yeah, they put that sex in there. But they was dropping some game. Boy, they was dropping some game. I said, Lord have mercy. And it's called Eden, the show Eden. It's a good ass show, Garden of Eden. And it shows you some, whoo, it's heavy. It's a heavy show. Sometimes I think like, and they canceled it midair. It was show Netflix. Here we go. And only got 2 seasons, and they canceled the season in the middle of the season. Well, I won't say the middle of, but like it just the ending is just like what the hell. Yeah, the show it's called Welcome to Eden. Welcome to Eden. This is what happened on planet Earth to you guys. In so many words. And look at the founders of the 2 people that's running it. Look at them as fallen angels. I'll say that. so many codes in here. It starts off with her with a shirt that says "Free Your Mind" and a serpent. I gotta again. This is for advanced level. Not maybe not advanced, but intermediate. But yeah, the more knowledge you got about this stuff, the more this show will make sense to you. It's a good show. It's actually a very good show. It's entertaining. I just didn't like all the sex scenes, and then they had like a lot of gay sex scenes. So if you don't you know, and you know, I'm bisexual, so I'm not necessarily like one to judge all that stuff. But I just felt like in general, for a show, it was too much sex scenes. They had boy on girl, girl on girl, boy on boy. They had even had threesome, and that's just ridiculous. But they show you the hedonistic Babylonian. They even show, you know, I mean, it's deep. It's a deep show. They show you how they get down. What's this all about? They really do. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn quite a bit if you understand, if you have some knowledge of esoteric. But you got to think of it as being trapped on planet Earth in 3D, signing the contracts. They have you sign the contract to live in quote unquote paradise. It's a deep show. Yep. Oh, am I not showing it? Oh, I thought I was showing it. Oh my gosh, I thought I was showing it this whole time. This right here, this show right here. I thought I was showing it. But okay, let me get up off of here. Oh, and this code right here, this girl name is Africa. Watch it, pay attention to the girl named Africa. Pay attention to the girl named Gabby. It's deep. Oh man, this is a good show. And I was so upset that they canceled it. They canceled this show. Because I think like that's just like when they had canceled, they cloned Tyrone from all the movie theaters. Sometimes the powers that be, they don't catch on this shit. That's like when they canceled that show. Damn, it was a show by Black Americans that we used to. I mean, this show was banging, and they just canceled it midair because they said these niggas gonna be literally the investors and like, you know, people that was way up the elites. They said the quote unquote elites. They said, "Oh hell no!" And it was literally a comment like, "This show would make people rise up against us," and they canceled it. And so this show right here is too much codes where it's you can't chance people actually waking up to them being on a prison planet. Pretty much until you're on a prison planet, and that them contracts are death contracts, and you'll be lied to. And so they canceled that shit. They're like, "Oh shit, it's a good show," and you know. Secret Island, sponsored by A New Dream. It definitely gives you Epstein vibes. It's a good, I'm telling you. And watch his Dark Materials. This is, you know, if you really want to know, you ain't gotta believe nothing. You ain't gotta, you know, you don't have to agree with it. You know, it's just if you are a person in search of the truth. I always told God, I'm like, I accept any truth if it's the truth. I accept the truth of this planet, the truth of the world, the truth of the universe, but it has to be the truth. It has to be the truth. And, you know, I won't get into that story right now. I'll end it right there. Oh, yes. So, yes, Ultra Instinct, thanks for stopping by. Royal Deluxe, thanks for stopping by. Yeah. I want to see what you said, Chris. You said off topic. Have you heard of the term Solani as another name for African Americans? I heard Sulan, Soulaan, but I didn't hear about the I underneath it. And I'm not gonna hold you. When I first heard this, I thought this was just for Africans. I didn't know it meant something for Black Americans, not even remotely. And someone had to explain to me that it was something for Black Americans, because I honestly did not pay any attention to this. But I will say, from what I understand, it says Sulan or Sula is a term referring to descendants of slaves in America. Somebody sent me the definition of this, and it says it means the soul, which is a big part of the Black culture through soul music, soul food, soul train, soul brother, sister, and etc. So the two A's in soul, AA stands for African American. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, so soul line. So I guess it really relates to the Black American soul, and then AA stands for African American. So I assume they prefer the term African American, and it's for descendants of slaves in America. I honestly don't know much about this. You know, we come up with some stuff that it just moves so fast in terms of like, all right, these identifiers and things we want to call ourselves. So let's see this. Where did it come from though? And they got their own flag, and you know, I have to say, I don't know what this is all about. I know the youth, I see a lot of young people with the term Solon in their, um, bios and stuff and the Twitter handle flags. And I thought, I was like, why, what's that? I thought it was Africa. I won't say an African country because I know most of all the African countries, to be honest. I thought it was an African tribe, though. I ain't even gonna hold you. I didn't know what the hell it was. Okay. Yeah. It's not a term I would use. I'm not against what anybody want to call themselves if they had a right to self-identify. I ain't out here trying to police what anybody think about themselves or what they want to call themselves. I probably would have went with it if it was. Again, I don't care for the term African American because I don't identify as an African, and that's no shade to Africans. I think Africans are beautiful and I love them in Africa, and I want them to run Africa and rule Africa in a way that's effective for planet Earth and for Mother Gaia, as well as the Africans already on there, the citizens on that continent. So I do wish them the best, but I don't refer to myself. I don't see myself as an African. At all. So I won't use this term, but there are Black Americans who identify with their African ancestry more so. That could be through their genealogy or maybe a DNA test. I'm not sure, but it's probably their genealogy or something that ties them to that makes them resonate and feel that they are African. And so if they want to use this term, good luck to them. um, you say you want to say it's interchangeable. Interchangeable with what? Black American? What do you want to say it's interchangeable with? And you said, I just ran across your page, so I'm rabbit holing your page right now. I really appreciate your work so far. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate you. It gets hard. It gets weary because I talk about some really, really deep topics that are incredibly taboo to speak about. But that's where my heart is at, and that's where my mind is at. And so I express those things. And I like to teach people, and I want to connect with people that are also on that same wavelength. And so I appreciate you, all of you guys. Royal Deluxe, I know you stopped by quite a bit. And some people, if I haven't heard from in a while. I haven't heard from, there's some people. So I wish you guys the best too. And hope maybe you guys come back. But, I know I'm polarizing. I know I'm very polarizing and very controversial. But nonetheless, my heart is always in the right space for humanity and for Black Americans. My heart is always in the right space. Pretty much validating what I've been speculating. I'm a melanologist, but I'm legit in school. Oh, cool. Okay, congratulations. What's a melanologist? That skin doctor? Is that skin, right? That's skin? I've never heard of melanologist, but I think of like melanoma. So I'm thinking that maybe skin. But you said you're in school to be a physician. Oh, congratulations. I wonder how long you have on. How long you have to go? I'm in a PhD program for higher education and administration. So that's cool. You're coming from the medical. So welcome. Welcome. Okay, so I'm going to end this. If I don't see you comment again, I'm going to end it. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? So understanding of okay, I just said, let me see your comment. Pretty much put emphasis on understanding, overstanding, and understanding the intrinsic and extrinsic chemistry of melanin. Beautiful. Melanin is so important. So this is something new for you. Then is this melanologist? Is that something you created? That is fucking fascinating. If you did, or I never heard. I mean, that's some dope ass work. You know how powerful. I know you already know how powerful melanin is. If you're talking about the chemistry, you said you in the understanding and overstanding melanin. Yes. Oh, that got you. Don't you just got me about to pinch my nipples. Oh, that is dope. You have no idea how excited that makes me to hear that. Oh wow, because melanin is so powerful. I mean, it may be the key of the key, And so to hear someone say, you know what, I'm a melanologist, we need that. That's brilliant. That's genius. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show this. That's genius. Where is it at? Right here. That's so damn genius. It's not even funny. That's amazing. Melanologist. Whoa, you thought of that. Chris thought of that. That's what's up. That's what's up. And so yes, we need more of this Black Americans. This is a new field. He just created a new field, melanology. He just created a new field of science, a new field of academia, melanology, melanologists. Yep, this is deep, guys. This is deep. This is what we're talking about: creating our own things. This is what we need. This is what excites the ancestors. That just got me excited, boy. So I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you guys. Yes, I'm gonna head up off of here and yeah, and to continue my day. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. I didn't even really think about the 4th of July. Let me get my ass up off of here. God bless you guys. Be easy. Love you. Oh, thanks, Chris, for the tut course. I just seen you. Thank you for that. I appreciate you so much. That was so dope. That's dope. In school to be a melanologist. I'll just enroll you. I'm not one that's crazy about money. I don't care about that. I thought you said you currently taking the tuck course. I thought I was going to say I'm saving you that shit. But then you're not a good business person. You just give the course out for free. I'm that's just people think that's somebody trying to get something out of somebody. I'm the real deal. I just want to spread love.